Wednesday, Web. Thursday, Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney.
Hello,
You don't
Mayor
think
Kitten.
we're being a tad fickle? That's a good point. Is it a good point, though? Is it, though?
Friday, Cyberpunk 2077.
Gave us a smooch, guys.
I'm indebted.
Maybe there's still a chance, baby. Still a chance. And there she goes.
Monday, Kenna, Bridge of Spirits. Tuesday, The Pillars of Earth. Wednesday, Web. Thursday, Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney.
You don't think we're being a tad fickle? That's a good point. Is it a good point, though? Is it, though?
Friday, Cyberpunk 2077.
Gave us a smooch, guys.
I'm indebted.
Maybe there's still a chance, baby. Still a chance. And there she goes.
Monday, Kenna, Bridge of Spirits. Tuesday, The Pillars of Earth. Wednesday, Web. Thursday, Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney.
You don't think we're being a tad fickle? That's a good point. Is it a good point, though? Is it, though?
Friday, Cyberpunk 2077.
Gave us a smooch, guys.
I'm indebted.
Maybe there's still a chance, baby. Still a chance.
Still getting my outfit on, so I'll be there in just a moment. But hello, Stella and Noah. Happy Thursday.
Monday, Kenna, Bridge of Spirits. Tuesday, The Pillars of Earth. Wednesday, Web.
All right, I think we're good to go.
Thursday,
Here we
Phoenix Wright
go.
Ace Attorney.
That's exactly Thursday's Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. You got that, robot lady. What's up, everybody? How's it going? Hopefully you guys are ready for another round of Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. We're getting there with this game, dude. I actually finally looked up the games and their release order. I don't know enough about the chronological order, but I assume the release order will be a good enough order to go in. And so the next game that we would be playing in that case is Apollo Justice Ace Attorney. That will be the next one. He will be the next defense attorney. So that means I will need a costume update. Although it is only one game, unfortunately, I believe. But I don't know what comes after that. After that, actually I do know what comes after that. After that, it'll be Miles Edgeworth, which I don't know if I can get Miles' outfit, but maybe I can try to figure out something to dress like Miles. That'd be kind of funny to have me dressed as Miles Edgeworth. And then after that, I'm not sure. I think that's about as far as I really paid attention to. So, but we will figure it out as we go. But we got plenty of time because we are just about to actually finish up Recipe for a Turnabout. Let's see. Let's go over what we know so far in this case, huh? So with Recipe for a Turnabout, all started. It says, if only there was a Von Karma outfit, right? Yeah, if only we got to play as Von Karma at some point, huh? And I assume you mean Francesca Von Karma? I assume that's what you mean. So, previously on Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trials and Tribulations. Okay, so this whole court case started where Phoenix got a visit from Gumshoe. Gumshoe had a magazine article about how Phoenix had lost a court case, and he lost so badly, I guess, that his reputation was ruined or something. And the thing about that case is that Phoenix didn't remember being in it at all because it was in December, and he said, I didn't even have a case in December, you know? And the big thing for Gumshoe about why he was so upset with Phoenix about it, because that's why he brought it to Phoenix, because he was really mad, is that the person who was being accused of murder in this case was Maggie Bird. Now, Maggie Bird was from the second game, and what we knew about Maggie was that she was a police officer, and she was accused of murdering her boyfriend, which she did not do. We got her a not guilty verdict. What's up, Aaron? How's it going, man? Good to see you, buddy. How you doing today? And we know that Gumshoe kind of was her mentor a little bit, but he also really likes her. You know, he has a bit of a crush on her. So that was the big deal for Gumshoe, that he's got a crush on this girl. She's no longer a cop, by the way. What we found out is that she actually works at a French restaurant called, what is it? Très Bien, I think is what it's called. So what happened in the previous court case that Phoenix apparently lost because there was some sort of person there and, you know, impersonating Phoenix and acting like him. What happened was there was a guy at a restaurant who apparently won $1 million in the lottery and exclaimed that he had won. And then Maggie, she was the waitress there, she brought him a coffee. As soon as he sipped his coffee, he apparently died. He basically just immediately died. Apparently it was cyanide is what they found that he was poisoned with. So because she's the one that delivered the coffee, everybody accused her of being the murderer. But she fainted as soon as she saw the guy die, and she claims that there was another man sitting at the table with her, or sitting at the table with him, but everybody else, meaning another person, this old guy who was in the restaurant at the time, and the owner of the restaurant and chef, Jean Armstrong, both say that there wasn't another man at the table. So because their word was against hers, she got a guilty verdict basically because of that. And the motive that they said was for her is because the guy had won $1 million and she was trying to steal that $1 million winning ticket. So that was what the court case that the fake Phoenix lost. So throughout the course of the investigation, let me go ahead and catch up on chat real quick. Hey, buddy, hope you had a good day. I did, man. I've not long got home. Okay, right on. No Discord for me today. Okay, sounds good, Aaron. Yeah, I noticed we didn't do any hanging out in the Discord tonight. But hey, man, if you got stuff you got to do, I totally understand, man. Just hope you had a good day. Court's in session today. Fuck, I'm still in my pajamas. Well, get on in here, Sylvie. That's all right. We got room for pajamas in here. No problem. Don't you worry, man. Let's see. So yeah, that was the previous case. So what we started with is okay, we're gonna go talk to Maggie. We talk to Maggie. We find out that she works at Très Bien, so we go to Très Bien. So we meet Juan Armstrong, or Jean. Sorry, I keep saying Juan. He's Jean. He's French. Jean Armstrong, and we find out a few things. We find out that the victim was a computer hacker programmer dude, and he worked at this place down the street called Blue Screens. And I guess just to follow that up, we went to Blue Screens at one point. We found out that apparently the guy's like a master programmer, and that he apparently made a hacking program or like some malware, I guess, or something, some sort of virus, I suppose, to sell on the black market because he needed money, because he owed a lot of money for some reason. Oh yeah, because he bet a lot, because he has a gambling issue, because he would constantly go to the horse races and bet. And so he was trying to get money to pay back, I guess, money, you know, that he was indebted to by selling this virus, okay? So we knew that that was part of it. And the virus, it was called MC Bomber, and the MC Bomber CD was apparently at the scene of the crime. We know that. So that's interesting. That's what we know about the victim. We also found out is that there was an old man present, and his name was Victor Kudo, and he apparently ogles the the waitresses in their little French outfits, and he's basically just a pervy old man. That's honestly, we didn't really get much from him, but he was there apparently. But we do know one specific thing about him is that he was apparently sent away from the scene of the crime to go call the police, and so for a moment, for a long period of time, only Jean and Armstrong was the only person in there that was actually conscious, because apparently Maggie was unconscious, the victim was dead, all that yada yada. So there's that. It's via Zoom, so just dress from the waist up. Yeah, there you go, Aaron, exactly. Okay, makes sense. Hold on, before things get tense, I need to say hi to someone. Okay, well, we're gonna wait until after I'm done with my breakdown, okay? Before we go into the dungeon. Just because I gotta get this out. I gotta get this straight. Okay, so Victor Kudo, we knew Victor Kudo. So who else did we meet? We also met the fake Phoenix guy, who turns out his name is Don Tigre, or the Tiger, as some people call him. And he is the owner of the Tenderlender, who is a lending company that's basically, I think it's sort of like a cash-to-go type of thing. So anyways, how he ties into this is, first of all, he was the fake Phoenix. So there's that, but we haven't really got to address that a whole lot, but we know that, and Phoenix knows that. So there's that. But he's like a Yakuza dude, and he's like beat red all the time, which is weird. So those are just a couple of facts about him. But anyways, he works at the Tenderlender. He actually owns the Tenderlender. When we went to the Tenderlender, we met another girl there named Viola or Violetta, and because she goes by both names. And we found out that apparently she was in a car accident. Well, first of all, she's the daughter of one of the Yakuza families. And she was in a car accident where she hit somebody on a bike, where somebody came out in front of her, and she was apparently like horribly injured. The person that ran out in front of her was Don Tigre, who is now her boss or whatever. So we found out that Don Tigre paid off all of Violetta's hospital bills, probably because she's the daughter of a Yakuza family, and they probably, like, I don't know, threatened him or something. And so she's actually kind of attached herself to Don Tigre because apparently the way she sees it, he saved her life because her family wasn't willing to save her life. So because he put forth all the money, that's a big thing. But now Don's in the hole, and he's the kind of guy that's very extravagant with all the things that he owns. So he probably needs to get a lot of money back. So I believe, this is now conjecture for me, I believe it was him that poisoned the coffee. There was either him or it was the girl, because we actually haven't clarified whether or not it was Maggie that the old man saw or not, because he only saw her from behind, and he was never looked at her face. in. So my theory is that it was actually Viola, maybe, or it was Don Tigre. One of them were at the table, but my current theory is actually, I think it's actually Violetta or Viola. I think she was dressed as a waitress. He only saw her from behind. She's the one that poisoned it and actually served him the coffee. And then it took a while for that coffee to actually take effect. So by the time the next coffee came to the guy, which was Maggie, which we've established none of that. This is just my theory. I think Maggie then served him a coffee. He took a sip of that coffee. Then it finally kicked in from the last coffee, and then he died. I don't know, but that's sort of what I'm thinking so far. But yeah, so what we're doing right now is we just got back into court, and I believe we're going to have... Who are we going to have on the stand? You know, I don't know who they're going to call to the stand. I guess we don't get to call people to the stand, but I'm going to guess it's probably... Violetta might end up there at some point, but I'm gonna guess probably Mr. Armstrong is gonna be in there somewhere. That's probably the next person, because he's the other witness from it before. So I bet he'll be first, and then we might have a surprise witness if Violetta comes up there, or maybe even Don Tigre. I mean, who knows? But I think Violetta's gonna be the one who's actually guilty here. But yeah, we'll see. So I hope that made sense. Let me see, is there any other details that I should mention? One thing we know about Mr. Armstrong is that he's a klepto. He steals from people. He stole the Magatama from us at one point, so that has been a detail about him. And he also tried to steal the winning lottery ticket, but he instead got the incorrect ticket and only won $1 out of it. But he did try to steal it, so that's kind of weird, you know? Not cool. Trying to steal from a dead person. I think that's pretty much all the facts that we got. There's probably some tiny little detail in there that I'm not going to remember, and I'm going to have to look at the walkthrough because of that. But hey, you know what? That's just life. All right. But I think that's the recap from last week, so I hope that makes sense to anybody who didn't already know what was going on. Hopefully it makes enough sense to those of you who kind of knew what was going on, so now that you definitely know what's going on? Maybe. I don't know. Here we go, guys. Let's go ahead and get in that dungeon, and then we'll start this up. All right, say hi to Doles for me, everybody. Play that music.
Welcome, you two. Back to my dungeon. Sylvie, it's you. You think you'll actually make it out of here today? I mean, who are we kidding? You're definitely not making it out of here. Yes. Perfect. Here we go. And, oh, I mean, does it even matter if it's the 20 or the 14? Does it really matter? I mean, come on. I just kicked your butt, Sylvie. Alright, sorry about that. Maybe I shouldn't push so hard. Domm told me I need to not be such a sore winner. So, congratulations on losing, Sylvie. There we go, how's that? Alright, now time for Aaron. Aaron, oh look, I got another 14, but is that a 3 or a 19 for Aaron? It's the 3, buddy. Man, I'm on a roll today. Clean sweep because there was only 2 of you. Perfect, just the way I like it. Keep the numbers low so it's easier to achieve. Yes, alright, now you guys enjoy your Phoenix Wright with Domm or whatever.
Welcome back, everybody. Oh, that's funny. It says Shyla and Crispy got out of the dungeon. Were they in there? That's funny. How weird. Sylvie's stuck in that dungeon again. There you go. Hey, at least you like it down there, dude. Then it's not so bad. All right, here we go. Recipe for Turnabout. January 8th, 9:46 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 1. Good morning, Mr. Wright.
Good morning, Maggie. So, what do you think is going to happen today, sir? Yesterday's session didn't go so well and ended in a giant mystery.
That's true. And we still haven't solved a single part of it yet.
Are you okay, Nick?
Huh? Oh, yeah, of course. They escaped while Dolus was occupied. Yeah, apparently. Yeah, they snuck out. Isn't that funny? Sorry, I was chewing. Did anyone actually get out of the dungeon? No, it did. It's all good. I can do cards, but no freebies to Shy Crispy. Yeah. No one actually made it out, yeah. That's like honestly why it's extra funny that it said that Shy and Crispy were in there. And let me check the list and see if they're like stuck in the list. It's supposed to clear the list every time. Hold up. Where are all my commands breaking? Which I'm almost done fixing the death counter, so that we can have games that have colons in them. Because I don't know if any of you guys were here or not, but on Monday the death counter for Kenna was all fucked up. But it's because Kenna has a colon in the name of the game, and that was just screwing everything up. Let's see. Oh, here's winner list. Okay, now it's empty. Okay, I don't know. They must have got stuck in there from last night. I have no idea how they got stuck in there. It's so awkward. Okay. And thank you, Solo, for getting cards. I appreciate you.
I saw that! That little flash of doubt in your eyes.
No! That wasn't doubt. That was, determination.
Why don't I believe you? It's nearly time, Maggie. You'd better get going to the defendant seat. Roger. Don't let me down, Mr. Wright. I'm counting on you.
Putting the pressure on, dude.
Hey, pal.
Hey, Detective Gumshoe.
Quit stressing Maggie out. She doesn't need that.
How did you know she was stressed?
I was watching through the doorway.
Oh.
You look like you lost the case already. Show a bit of confidence, will you, pal? Here, maybe this'll help.
Huh? Have you taken up aromatherapy too?
Not in a million years, pal. Don't tell me that you don't remember this thing.
Come to think of it, that doesn't look like one of those aromatherapy bottles. Yeah, it was the bottle that we gave him because it was the one that was amongst all the aromatherapy bottles, but it was different. And so he was supposed to do an analysis on it and get back to us. I remember that now.
This is the bottle that turned up in Trebien's kitchen a couple of days ago.
Wow, look at all these little bottles.
Oh, they're aromatherapy oils. He's got so many, they're overflowing onto the floor.
Hey, wait a minute. There's one bottle that's different from all the others.
Well, what do you know? And it doesn't have a label either.
And it doesn't smell.
We finally got the analysis results back from the lab.
So, what is it? Is it the poison?
I'm afraid not, pal. It's medication.
Oh, is it the medication that was from the medication bag from the victim? Victim's medication? His ear medication?
Medication?
Yeah, for ears. Topical use only, apparently.
For ears? You mean...
Yeah, it's the medication Glenn Ellig was using for his ruptured eardrum.
What was Glenn Ellig's ear medicine doing in the kitchen? Small bottle, the victim's ear medicine, found covered in unidentified fingerprints in the kitchen. Unidentified? What about the unidentified fingerprints? Anything on that?
Someone screwed up, so they only had time to analyze the contents of the bottle. Another hour and they might have gotten something on the prints, but...
That's going to weaken its impact as a piece of evidence.
Okay, pal, this is it. Make sure your defense is impregnable today, got it?
Today's trial. I'm gonna expose that guy for what he's done. Or my name isn't Phoenix Wright. January 8th, 10 o'clock a.m. District Court, courtroom number 4.
Court is now in session for the trial of Maggie Bird.
The defense is ready, Your Honor.
Ready and waiting, as always, Your Honor. Very good. Then we'll get underway at once. Yesterday we heard the testimony of Mr. Victor Kudo. He claims to have witnessed the defendant putting a powder into the victim's coffee. However, the witness's testimony was plagued with a number of problems. The mark on the rim of the cup shows that the victim drank from it with his right hand. But according to the old man's testimony, he picked it up with his left hand. Thank you, Mr. Kudo. Furthermore, according to the witness's account, the victim was listening to the radio with an earpiece in his left ear. Yet the victim's left eardrum was ruptured, which made him effectively deaf in that ear.
It's amazing how many contradictions a single case can have, huh, Nick?
Ha! Allow me to enlighten you, Your Honor. The world, you see, keeps turning, and we must turn with it. You've lost me already, Mr. Godot. Don't let the mysteries of yesterday's mystify you today. Only losers think like that. You've got to change with the times. That's one of my rules. Are you implying that you've resolved these contradictions? You know the answers to these riddles? The old guy wasn't just throwing seed in here. He was throwing us off the scent. And today, I'll prove it. Very well. Let the first witness take the stand.
And who is the first witness? It is. I was right. It is Jean. And you are?
Oh, bonjour, everyone. I am John Armstrong, the owner of and head chef of La Très Bien restaurant. Enchanté.
Just look at that posture he's got. He's sticking that little butt out.
Forgive me for asking you this, but are you a woman?
Ooh la la, monsieur. As you can see, I am a la pert and perky gentleman, non?
On the day of the incident, you were in Très Bien kitchen. Isn't that right?
With you, monsieur.
Huh?
Everything feels right.
Oh, he's hitting on Godot, huh? That's so funny. Let me see. I think I need to catch up on chat. Sorry, I was chewing. Did anyone actually get the dungeon? Oh yeah, I read that earlier. I still love Dom's voice acting. It's a chef's kiss. So good and on point. Thank you, Sylvia. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Hell yeah. One of my favorite characters of all time. Oh, is John one of your favorite ones, Mr. Armstrong? I love this theme music. Oh, me too. I love it too. I assume you're talking about Armstrong's, because Godot's is also really good. I like Godot's music as well. I love how, like, sexy he is, you know? Godot's pretty awesome. I can't wait to figure out more about Godot, because he's so mysterious. Ooh. Ooh la la. But hey, wait, also, what's up, Mini Ion? I hadn't say hello to you yet. Thanks for coming in, man. I know you're on the next case, dude. And I can't wait to get to it, but I gotta see the end of this one, obviously. But yeah, and I agree with you, so, like, Mr. Armstrong has got to be one of my favorites, for sure. He's so goofy. I just love how, like, eccentric he is. Like, the more eccentric a character is, like, it seems like the better they are, you know? Like, even, like, Luke Atme was great because of how eccentric he was. His name is fucking Luke Atme. That just cracked me up.
Huh.
Wow, he's totally unfazed. Doesn't anything intimidate this guy?
Very well. Your testimony, please, witness. Please tell the court what happened that day at Très Bien.
Oui, volontiers.
Witness testimony at Très Bien.
When it all happened, there was just 2 customers in my restaurant. I remember I was experimenting with some new art deco that day. Like having a large mirror between la tables, for example. Oui, perhaps that is what la old man was looking at. La cup, la earpiece, and la glasses. He would have seen everything in reverse, non?
Interesting thought, but I don't think we saw mirrors, right? Mirror?
Oui, a grand mirror. La most enormous mirror.
Where was that mirror at? I don't think we saw a mirror.
And suddenly the mystery disappears. Like I said, the world keeps turning, so roll with it. That would explain the coffee cup and the earpiece conundrum. The mirror would have made everything appear back to front.
What the heck? It's way too early in the morning for this to be happening to me.
Now then, Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination.
Okay, here we go.
When it all happened, there were just 2 customers in my restaurant.
And who were the 2 customers exactly? Because here's one thing I'll say about this moment here when we're talking about 2 customers or whatever. Because he's going to say it was just Victor Kudo and Glenn Ellig. But when Maggie talks about how many people were in the restaurant. She said there was actually another, like there was 2 customers, but the other guy wasn't Victor Kudo when she recalls this. And she actually recalls it being a woman. And so I think that was Violetta or Viola or whatever. Amir, you mean to tell me that the customer was looking through a mirror and didn't notice? I call bullshit. Yeah, that's pretty valid, especially since he was trying to read the newspaper, right? Isn't that gonna be like what we try to like throw back at him, right? Wouldn't that then like throw all of that out of question? Because he said he was trying to read the newspaper. If he was reading anything, it would have been backwards because he was looking through a mirror apparently, and he would have known he was looking through a mirror because of that. I wonder if that'll be the reason. Probably not. I almost feel like the game will just blow past that detail, but I feel like that could be part of it. I don't know. We'll find out. And who were the 2 customers exactly? Yes, of course. The young man who died. And the other, not so young man.
You were referring to yesterday's witness, I presume.
What about the other man Maggie says she saw at the table? Something tells me Mr. Armstrong isn't planning to disclose his existence.
We need some hard evidence first before we can bring him up, don't we?
I guess I'll just have to try a different approach for the time being. Yeah, I mean, we only first one, guys. We only pressed the first one. We'll help ourselves there, guys. Yeah, in the newspaper, he was trying to read the newspaper. How would you read the newspaper through a mirror? Exactly, Sophie, exactly.
I remember I was experimenting with some new art decos out there.
You were experimenting with Art Deco? How come I never heard about look. How come I never heard about that before today?
You are not familiar with the language of interior design, monsieur?
Please stay on topic. Now, why didn't you tell the court about this before?
But I did, just a few moments ago.
Excuse me, Mr. Armstrong. This deco you mentioned, are you referring to some sort of decorature? Decorature?
No, Art Deco. It is a style of design, Your Honor. He's talking about interior design, walls, ceilings, carpets, and that kind of thing.
Ah, yes, of course. That deco.
I was trying to achieve a more la effeminate look for my restaurant. I was planning the most bold remodeling of la decor.
And the law things get me every time. Not great with French.
Like having a large mirror between la tables, for example.
How big of a mirror are we talking about here?
Both. Something about 4 meters wide and, about 2 meters high. Let's see. If 1 meter is about 1 yard, holy glass in a frame, that's huge! I was intending to install it on the ceiling eventually.
On the ceiling? The ceiling?
Was there a mirror on the ceiling? I don't remember. None. But I decided not to go through with it in the end. What should I do? Should I ask him more about the mirror or not?
Oh, we always press harder, dude. As we do here on Domm Dynamite. If you really had such a large mirror in the restaurant, someone would have noticed it. But there's nothing about a mirror in Mr. Kudo or Maggie Bird's testimonies.
But...
You didn't ask, right? You have only yourself to blame for such sloppy work.
What?
A mirror was delivered to Trebien the day before the incident.
Really?
As Mr. Armstrong testified, he was carrying out some design changes. And as it turned out, he didn't actually use the mirror in the end.
This just doesn't add up. Even if a mirror was delivered to Trebien, it doesn't prove that it was in the restaurant on the day of the crime.
Ha! If you want to doubt someone, Trite, look in the mirror. I'm sure the person looking back at you will be dubious enough. So the witness yesterday had seen the victim reflected in a mirror.
Now the judge is buying it, dude.
Ooh, perhaps that is what the old man was looking at.
Normally, I'd expect people to know the difference between a reflection and a real object.
Normally? How does normality come into this? That's lame, Trite. Even for you.
Huh?
Are you trying to say that if something isn't normal, it isn't possible? Is that it? Where does that leave your porky-headed lawyer and that top-knot chick over there? And that ungodly cool guy with the mask over here? Well, trite.
He's ungodly cool. That's hilarious. Dag! Not the hair!
I do not have a top knot.
Mr. Godot is correct. A lack of normality is no basis for discounting an argument.
Bien, logic as ones a day. La cup, la earpiece, and la glasses. You would have seen everything in reverse, non?
I think we are gonna have to push the sports magazine. It seems like we would be able to challenge that. Everything? He would have seen everything in reverse?
Ooh.
Hey, Nick. We should take a sec and think about what old CD said in his testimony.
How did he phrase it again?
The boy was wearing the earpiece on the same side as the green lens in his specs. No question. You could lock me up if I'm wrong. It was his left ear, without a doubt. And then he used the same hand to pick up the cup. His left hand.
If he saw everything he described reflected in a mirror, then everything he said he saw on the left was actually on the right, huh?
And that clears up all the problems with his testimony, I guess. Or does it?
Ha!
It's kind of hard to believe everything's the fault of a mirror, but...
Do you think old CD saw everything through a reflection?
If he did, it would explain all the contradictions in his testimony.
But that just makes sense. That just makes the situation worse for Maggie. There's gotta be something in that old man's testimony. We've just gotta dig deeper.
Oh yeah, we already know what it is. Me and Sylvie already talked about it. All right, here we go. We're gonna do. Oh, well, first we gotta save. Okay, then we're gonna go to this last one, and we're going to present the sports paper. Your Honor, what do you think about the witness's statement? Uh-oh, that wasn't it?
I'm not sure I follow you.
It clearly contradicts. I thought maybe I need to use his testimony then.
You don't sound very sure, Mr. Wright. Objection denied.
Okay, damn it. I thought that was gonna be it, man. Okay, let me look at the rest of what I had. Maybe I jumped the gun. Because it was the sports paper that he was trying to read. But do we have something that's better? Loan contract, Victor's testimony. When the incident occurred, I broke the vase at my seat. I'm sorry. I don't see... It's something about his testimony. I would have swore it was the newspaper thing. Maybe it still is, we just pushed it on the wrong one? I could try just pushing it on a different one. The incident occurred, I broke the vase at my seat, I'm sorry. I don't feel like... That's part of Victor's testimony, but I don't feel like that matters here. The incident occurred, I broke the vase at my seat. I don't think that really matters here. I did hear a Discord ping though, so let me go into streamer mode. I forgot to do that. Sorry about that, guys. Streamer mode, engage. So there we go. Died of potassium cyanide poisoning. Time of death was between 1:30 and 2:30. Take it from the kitchen. Because that would have had to have been something backwards. Right? Like something he would have seen backwards? I wonder if the Glenn Ellick thing will come into play with the mirror thing, because his name is the same forwards and backwards. So wouldn't that kind of be funny because his name is a palindrome? That would like make that work out or something? Huh. But I mean, it's not like letters look the same mirrored though. Paper, trivia matches. 10 small bottle. I don't know what other than the newspaper would be relevant here. So let's try pushing it on the other statement. Maybe the one before. Like having a large mirror between the tables, for example. Perhaps that is what the old man was looking at. And then I'm going to try presenting it here. Because what he was looking at was the sports paper. He talked about that a number of times. Man, the music's still going. So it's not that. Man, come on, game. How is it not that? How is that not a valid thing to say, though, right? Okay, let's think about this. I'm obviously on the wrong track. It all happened with just 2 customers in the restaurant. Remember, I was experimenting with some new Art Deco, having the mirror. Perhaps that's what the old man was looking at. Yeah, it just has to do with what the old man saw. I mean, would it have to be this? Because it says right here that he wore the HMD over his left eye. So it definitely wasn't over his right eye, because apparently it was on his left eye when he died, right? Because basically what they're trying to say is that the HMD would have been on the same side. Or on the opposite side, whatever. It would have been on the right side. But it was definitely on the left side. It says right here, he wore an HMD over his left eye. So maybe it's this. Let's try pressing that. Yep, there we go. That's what it was. Okay, because it explicitly talks about how he pet it on his left eye. Okay. The coffee cup, the earpiece, and the HMD. Let's think back over Mr. Kudo's testimony for a second, shall we?
The boy was wearing the earpiece on the same side as the green lens of his specs. No question. You can lock me up if I'm wrong. It was his left ear, without a doubt.
So, to summarize, we were told both the HMD and the earpiece were on the victim's left side. Now, if Mr. Kudo saw all that as a reflection in a mirror, it means both the HMD and the earpiece were actually on the victim's right side. Exactement. You see, monsieur, now that you think about it, is it not so odd, non? Unfortunately, that's where we run into a monumental contradiction with the facts. If Mr. Kudo really did see everything in a mirror, why is it that the HMD is now on the wrong side of his head?
Order, order! Mr. Wright is correct. If the witness genuinely observed the victim reflected in a mirror, then he would expect the victim's earpiece to have been over his right eye. Or sorry, his eyepiece would have been over his right eye.
How you gonna get out of this one, Godot?
How bitter. That's right. You should have a taste of this bitterness. And I'll calm you down in no time, or it'll calm you down in no time.
Are you talking about your coffee? Or something completely different?
You don't understand the way the witness thinks. How he thinks? You remember this, I presume?
The I broke the vase sorry apology letter? I mean, Mr. Kudo's sworn testimony?
Exactly. The old man has one very grievous habit, other than throwing seeds. The more of an impression something makes, the more muddled his mind makes it. And what's the most striking thing about Mr. Ellig? Clearly the victim's the eyepiece. And that's my point. The old man strikes again. Mr. Ellig's HMD made a big impression on the old man. I saw the earpiece and those newfangled spectacles he was wearing. Oh yes, they were both on his left ear. Do you hear? His left ear.
What does that prove? What is he saying?
Ha! Well, right.
That's the worst but the best impression of Kudo ever.
What is he saying? Because how does that disprove what we're saying? I just don't understand. I feel like Godot is just making a show of shit at this point. Like, that, I don't think that makes any sense. Like, he's not actually disproving what we're saying, right?
Wow, I really thought he was old Seedy for a minute there. Godot's good.
Enough. I must agree that yesterday's witness was irresponsibly rash in much of his testimony.
Bad luck, Nick. Looks like the boil of a contradiction you found is just a rash.
A mirror can't be beaten by a handful of seeds, nor can it lie. So, what exactly was the old man looking at? Fill us in, Mr. Armstrong. Go on, tell the court. We're all ears.
Oui, I can explain. Please, if you will look at the plans of the restaurant.
Okay. I don't know how any of this is, like, making up for the fact that it was definitely on his left side, right? Like, because we would have found the body, and we would know for a fact what side of his face that it was on. And if you're trying to say you saw it on a mirror, you know, then... So basically what Godot, I guess, is trying to say is that the old man's testimony should be thrown out and not listened to at all, as I think is what he's essentially saying. Which, I don't know if that really is fair, because it doesn't matter what the old man saw. If they're trying to say that it was all on his right side, they're wrong. Because it was on his left side because we found the body and it was on the left side of his face, right? Because that's why it's in the court record. You know what I mean? So I feel like they're really struggling here. To try to prove that point now. There's so many of these random French words that I don't know, and he just says one French word.
Alors, is everyone sitting comfortably? La mirror. It was in the middle of the restaurant, dividing the two halves.
Wait, what? So he was... Oh, what? What a weird place to put a mirror, dude. That is so bizarre.
There was only one seat from which you could have seen an image of the victim. That was a seat at the table next to the victims. Next to the victims. That was where the old man was sitting. After the terrible incident occurred, I moved the mirror so it was not in the way. But naturally, I did not touch anything else.
Why'd you even touch the mirror, dude?
I see no problems with the explanation we have just heard. From the table next to the victims, Mr. Kudo could have seen the victim in the mirror.
What a naughty little coquette I am, confusing all the men like this.
Don't worry about it. We can keep up. Except for the guy breaking out in the cold sweat over there again.
Ah, I hate that guy.
You said you didn't touch anything else apart from the mirror. Are you quite sure about that?
Volunteer, of course.
Very well. Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, if you please.
Alright, we'll see what we can do here.
The mirror is in the middle of the restaurant, dividing the two halves.
So, run this by me again. The mirror was here, correct?
Oui.
We? Really? Because I know if I were you, I wouldn't have put a mirror there. It would be in the way.
Look who's talking, Wright.
Huh?
You're obstructing my view, among other things.
But, this is my seat in the courtroom.
Trebian's charm is that it gives you the impression that you're the only customer. Temporarily placing a mirror in that spot would hardly be in the way. Unlike you, Wright.
I tell you, monsieur, la mirror was there in the middle of the restaurant. There is only one seat from which you could have seen an image of la victim.
And where would that be?
Ooh la la, look how you lean towards me. I always attract the younger boys. Maybe I should keep you in suspense a little longer.
Mr. Armstrong, tell the court what you know at once.
I attract the older ones too, you know, handsome. Shall I tease you too?
Nah.
Armstrong's getting a little frisky up in here.
I'm already seeing a very hot someone, so I'm afraid you'll be waiting for a long time.
Oh, Godot's got a significant other.
I bet has a mocha cream skin and cappuccino perfume.
Bien, I will tell you. There was only one seat from which you could have seen. That was the seat at the table next to la victims. That was where la old man was sitting.
So why can you only see the victim from that particular seat?
Monsieur, is it obvious, non? If you look at the la plans, you will understand. La victim would have been reflected in la mirror like so. If you were sitting at la table next to him, you would see everything, non?
So that's the seat old Seedy was sitting out on that day? When the poisoning happened.
The old man was sitting at the table next to the victim. Why does that seem kind of odd?
I'm telling you, man, the newspaper thing makes it odd, dude. Really, it's gotta come up. Come on.
After the terrible incident occurred, I moved in la mirror so it was not in the way.
Oh, I forgot to press that one. Did you move the mirror while Mr. Kudo was off calling the police?
Oui, exactement. I carried it out of the restaurant then.
You moved a huge mirror like that all by yourself?
What can I say? I know how to pick things up, Ansem.
He's trying to pick us up.
Godot actually laughed at something.
Well, given the witness's physique, I suppose it's possible. Did you move anything else from the crime scene, Mr. Armstrong?
I look like the oblong type, no? Or obliging type, no? But naturally, I did not touch anything else.
I mean, you stole that ticket. Are you sure about that?
I touched nothing except la mirror.
Mr. Wright, is there something the witness has said that doesn't match the crime scene?
Yeah, there is. Just can't put my finger on it. What exactly?
Ha! Suffering from a case of heartburn, right?
Oh, I have just the thing for that. An oil with golden myrrh and frankincense.
Add a few drops to your coffee and voila! Enjoy.
Focus, Phoenix. Breathe. I need to ignore those two and just find some evidence.
It's pretty strange, though, isn't it? I mean, nobody mentioned anything about a really large mirror. You'd think someone would have, but Maggie didn't, and neither did old Seedy.
Then the only logical explanation is that there was no mirror inside Trabian that day.
Now I've just got to prove it. Somehow.
Okay, so how do we prove it? Okay, so the mirror was in the middle of the restaurant, dividing the two halves. There was one seat from which you could see have seen the image of the victim. And that was the seat at the table next to the victim. That was where the old man was sitting. After the terrible incident occurred, I moved the mirror so it was not in the way. But naturally, I did not touch anything else. I know that he did touch something else, but I don't know that that matters. You know what I mean? But I think that's a contradiction, though. Because he picked up the victim's lottery ticket, or he tried to. But it wasn't this ticket, but it was a ticket that he picked up. But I really don't think that's what it was that we need to press here. Or present, I should say. Oh, yeah, he would have picked up the small bottle. Because it was found in the kitchen. It doesn't have his fingerprints on it, or at least we don't know that. But it was found in the kitchen, so he must have picked it up. So let's try presenting that. Let me save really quick. No, the music is still going. Oh no, I got it wrong. Come on, dude. But clearly he would have picked it up, right? I mean, clearly. I mean, come on. Damn, that felt right. Okay. You're saying you didn't touch anything, and that there was a mirror in the middle of the restaurant. Anything that could have... I still feel like the sports paper kind of disproves the mirror. I don't know where we would press it here. Special ones, loan contract, or Jean, sorry. Victor's testimony: when the incident occurred, I broke the vase at my seat. I'm sorry. Well, because when he... he would have saw like 2 of the waitresses then, right? Because if he was looking at the waitress giving the coffee to the victim, then he would have noticed the mirror then, right? I mean, you would know there's a mirror there. And he was trying to read the newspaper. So that's gotta be part of this. But naturally, I did not touch anything else. Got this from the doctor's report. Retrieving the bag is empty. The mirror in the middle of the... Man, this is rough. I don't know. The mirror in the middle of the restaurant. Naturally, I did not touch anything else. He moved it after the incident. The floor plan. Let me look at the floor plan. I mean, I guess if the mirror was there, then he was looking at the victim, then Kudo wouldn't have known if there was another person across the table from him. So that would maybe explain that if the mirror did exist. But we're trying to explain away the mirror, so the mirror must not have existed. Because I think Kudo is in this bottom left one, maybe, or maybe straight across from him. Maybe the bottom left one, because then he wouldn't have been able to see Don Tigre if he was indeed there. But what's the bit of evidence that contradicts what he's saying here? And there's not like a profile? Yeah, none of this is looking like it's... I don't know, man. If anybody has a guess, we can go for that. But I'm gonna look up a hint. If anybody wants to guess it before I get that hint, you feel free. I'm gonna leave it open for that. I'm a bit stumped, man. I'm apparently missing something here. Let's see. Okay, interesting. You're stumped too still. Yeah, and this explanation I'm getting is not clearing things up very much, I gotta say. So, hold up. Let me take a look at something really quick. I'm trying to like make sense out of how we were supposed to figure it out. So here's the crime scene photo. We hadn't looked at this yet. I mean, Victor said he broke the vase at his table, and this vase isn't broken. So I guess that's what we're supposed to latch onto here? Because if his vase did indeed break at his table, then this was his table, then the vase would have been broken, right? So that's the importance of the fact that Victor broke his own vase. So I think we're supposed to show this picture based on what it's saying here. And we're supposed to point out the vase and then use Victor's testimony. Okay, I can see that, I guess. Man, that one would have been hard to figure out, but I can see that. I can see it. Okay. Okay. And that was just me being a dum-dum. Okay, that was a seat at the table next to the victim. She was there. That's where the old man was sitting. And no, it wasn't because of this. This piece of evidence contradicts with the testimony we have heard, Your Honor.
The crime photo?
Yes, this photo clearly shows something that theoretically should not exist.
What on earth do you mean by that, Mr. Wright?
It should not exist. Huh.
Sounds like you were describing yourself, Trite.
Shut up, Godot.
Now then, if the defense would please clarify its statement. What is the something that should not exist in this photo?
I think it's pretty obvious that this is what should not be in the picture.
The vase? What possible connection does that have with the witness's testimony?
Your Honor, I'm telling you that there should have been no vase on this table. Because it very clearly contradicts with this piece of evidence. There is one thing that was clearly demonstrated by yesterday's testimony. Mr. Kudo broke the vase that was on the table where he was sitting. And yet, as the court can see, there is an unbroken vase on the table next to the victim. Why? Because Mr. Kudo was not, in fact, sitting at the table next to the victim at all.
Don't be an idiot, Trite. That's impossible. That seat's the only one Kudo could have been to see the victim's reflection from.
Exactly. There is only one conclusion we can draw from this contradiction. There was no mirror in Trebian that day. Your testimony, Mr. Armstrong, is an elaborate lie.
Mon Dieu! Don't try to confuse the court, Trite. Obviously, the witness cleaned up the vase, while the police were taking their time getting the crime scene.
He just said that he didn't touch anything. Unfortunately, Mr. Godot, that doesn't quite work for me. Mr. Armstrong already testified to the contrary in his own words. I did not touch anything else except the mirror.
He just drinks a bunch of coffee. Well, witness, what do you have to say for yourself?
I was right. There was no mirror in the restaurant that day.
In the light of this revelation, we return back to the original problem. Why did the victim have an earpiece in an ear in which he couldn't hear? Ha! You only get one shot in life. There's no turning back. If you want to claim that the mirror wasn't there, Trite, then this problem is all yours. How do you explain what the old man saw?
If I can answer this, then I'll be that much closer to the truth. I can feel it.
Are you going to be okay? Can you really solve this contradiction, Nick?
There's more than just this one contradiction, Maya.
What do you mean?
Remember what Maggie told us? There was another man at the victim's table. And there was a sample CD on the victim's table. It all flies in the face of Mr. Kudo's testimony.
And I think I know the reason why nothing in this case is adding up.
Think Tigray and Violetta are blackmailing Armstrong? Yes. Because, well, okay, so we kind of already have a very strong reason to believe that. And the reason for that is the fact that Jean Armstrong owes like $500,000 to the tender lender, which is what the business that Don Tigray owns, which is like a cash loan, a cash to go business kind of thing. Payday loan, I think is the word for it. And so I think they were probably, plus Don needs money because he just paid for Violetta's surgery, right? So I bet they're trying to get that money from Armstrong. And because Armstrong can't actually pay them, they were going to, get them to. So what I think is like, they're going to get this virus so that they can sell it on the black market, right? But Glenn Ellig was trying to sell the virus on the black market by selling it to Don Tigray, right? And so, because the virus is probably worth like $1 million, I think is what it was like quoted at last week. So my thought is that they're like, Don Tigray is like, okay, so I'll convince this guy I'm going to buy this virus from him, and then when we go to get the virus from him, we actually murder him but I do it in such a way where I'm in this guy's restaurant or whatever, and Armstrong has to, like, you know, cover for me because he owes me money, and so that will, like, be him paying me back, because then I'll have this $1 million virus I can sell and then get all my money back. And I think that's probably how that works. And then he then would have faked himself as being Phoenix just to make sure that he definitely didn't get tried for being the actual perpetrator. And so that was him, like, covering his ass or whatever, which honestly, he sounds like he did a pretty good job, you know, getting all the way to getting Maggie her guilty verdict, but he just didn't see Phoenix Wright coming, dude. Phoenix Wright and Gumshoe. He's messing with the wrong Maggie Bird, you know what I'm saying? That's what I'm thinking happened, though. So I think, yes, and they are blackmailing him.
And I think I know the reason why nothing in this case is adding up.
I think it's because Kudo didn't see the moment when he was poisoned. I think that's what it is. I think Kudo saw him before Tige was there or something. I don't know. I think there's just like there's two moments when the guy was served coffee, and I think Kudo saw one of them, and it was the one where he actually got poisoned. That's what I'm thinking.
Well, Mr. Wright, let's hear your answer.
Yes, Your Honor. The reason behind all the contradictions in Mr. Kudo's testimony is simple. All right, let me save here real quick. A little scum save and never hurt nobody. Mr. Kudo made a mistake. The ear doctor made a mistake. The victim was a phony. The victim was a phony. Now that's interesting. The victim was a phony. Mr. Kudo made a mistake. The ear doctor made a mistake. The victim was a phony. Is the victim a phony? Is that what we're concluding? I didn't see that one coming. The victim was a phony. I'm sure the ear doctor didn't make a mistake. That's hard to believe. But Mr. Kudo made a mistake is easier to believe. The victim being a phony is just, I don't know, man. I mean, it must be that one, because we've already gone over the fact that Mr. Kudo was very sure of himself, right? So it must have been that the victim was a phony? I just don't understand what are the implications of that. Wouldn't that... Ooh, man, Occam's razor does not like that. I don't know. It does sound pretty exciting to call him a phony. We scum saved. Let's try phony. I don't know, dude. Let's see how this comes out. This case is riddled with contradictions. Yet there is one very simple answer that clears them all up.
And what is that?
The incident Mr. Kudo witnessed and the incident the victim experienced were two completely different events.
What?
Yes, the victim that Mr. Kudo saw wasn't Mr. Glenn Ellig at all. It was an imposter, a phony pretending to be Mr. Ellig. Obviously, unlike the victim, there was nothing wrong with the imposter's left eardrum. That's how he ended up wearing the earpiece in his left ear by mistake. Alright, how's that gonna play out? Was that right then? Man, I did not see that coming. I don't know. Shit.
Order in the court. Settle down or I'll clear the courtroom.
Quiet, Gramps. Why don't you clear out of here, huh?
What did you say?
Trite. Are you saying that Mr. Kudo saw was a setup? Or what Mr. Kudo saw was a setup?
Yes. Someone pretended to be Glenn Ellig and acted out the whole coffee poisoning. All for the express purpose of creating a witness out of one Mr. Victor Kudo. Wow, it's more elaborate than we thought, dude. If that's real.
Get real, Trite. Why would anyone want to do that?
Isn't it obvious? The thing Mr. Kudo was most insistent about in his testimony was...
The serving girl brought him a Javachino, but she put something in it. That's the serving girl, right there in the defendant's chair. I remember her well.
It's so hard to believe, but...
There was one and only one reason to show Mr. Kudo this fake poison. To show Maggie Bird in the act of poisoning the victim. Or the coffee, whatever.
Are you insinuating that the waitress in the old man's story was a fake as well?
It's true that there were no other customers in the restaurant at the time, but it's also true that the chef was there. He would have noticed what was happening. That's right. Well, witness, if your restaurant really was the scene of such theatrics, you would have known about it, correct?
Oh la la, this is most difficult for me.
No, it's quite simple. All you have to do is testify. You are under oath, after all. Was there, in fact, a phony at Très Bien that day? The defense demands that Mr. Armstrong tell the whole truth about what happened.
The defense's request for additional testimony is accepted. You will accurately explain in detail the events in the restaurant that day.
Oh, oui.
Not gonna have a rose left here in a second, dude. Just pulling off those petals.
La victim, Monsieur Alleg, he came to my restaurant alone. I remember the old man arrived not long after him. There were no other customers. When he got word he won la lottery, Mon Alleg became very excited. It was approximately 5 minutes later that a poisoning incident occurred. None. There was no time for a phony to do la acting.
I feel like we're gonna need his loan contract to prove why he has motive to cover up for these people. That's what I'm feeling's coming, but I don't know. The whole sports magazine thing didn't work out, so there's a good chance I'm wrong.
Just so we're clear, there was no mirror in the restaurant after all.
Je vous demande pardon. Forgive me, Your Honor. I lied because I wanted this mess to be cleared up quickly.
What you have just done is commit perjury, Mr. Armstrong. I will decide how to punish you later.
Oui.
For now, we will hear your cross-examination. Mr. Wright, if you please.
He took that perjury charge a bit too well. But I'm guessing he'll be in more serious trouble after this cross-examination.
In la restaurant. La restaurante. La victim, Monsieur Alleg, he came to my restaurant alone.
Was he alone at his table as well?
Mais oui. I saw him from la kitchen.
Yet the defendant, Miss Bird, remembers it differently. She swears there was another man at the victim's table.
Ha! Unfortunately for you, Wright. Yesterday's witness also testified that the victim was alone.
Ah,
You know, seeing you squirm like that reminds me of a certain coffee's a bittersweet bite.
What kind of coffee is he even drinking?
It's not coffee, it's love. It's love that's bittersweet.
Hearing Maya say that makes her seem wise all of a sudden.
hey, Crispy, what's up? Hello, can I get a short recap, please? You absolutely can. All right, let's see here. So, since the beginning of this, what we started out with was, let's say, just a brief recap of where we ended last week. Is we had discovered a little bit about a tender lender. We discovered that Dawn Tigre had paid for Violetta's surgery or whatever she had to do, so her medical procedure, because she was in a car accident, and now so we know that Dawn Tigre needed money really badly, right? We also found out that Glenn Ellig was a programmer that had made a virus to sell on the black market to pay for his gambling debt. So those are some things that we learned last week that are still going to come into play. But what we found out today is we've had John Armstrong up here, and he tried to first tell us that the old man's testimony was he was being honest, and he did see them all on, or he was confused. It's not that he was honest, I guess. They're trying to say that the old man was confused because the old man was apparently looking into a mirror in order to see it. So here, let me show you this really quick. This will give you a better. So they were saying that there was a mirror right here, right? Just like right in the middle of the aisle. And so Armstrong was trying to say that the old man, Victor Kudo, was sitting right here, and he was looking this way, thinking he was looking all the way over here, but he wasn't actually looking over here. And so that made it so that everything he saw that would have been in his left ear was actually on his right side. And so because it was just a mirror image. And so him having the earbud in his right ear is okay because his right ear wasn't the one that was ruptured. But we proved that wrong because the vase that Victor broke wasn't on this table because the vase on this table wasn't broken in the crime scene photo. So that proved to the court that there was no mirror here because the broken vase was on one of these two tables, I guess. So then the next turn we had was... I guess that's really the only big thing that we've gone through, even though we've been going for like an hour or whatever. Trying to think, what was the other big thing that we went through? So, oh yeah, here's the next thing. Okay, then Phoenix was like, we were talking about how none of this is adding up, so Phoenix came out with this really crazy theory that I didn't really see coming completely. I mean, I kind of had some of it in my head, but he really fleshed it out, where apparently the Glenn Ellig that Victor Kudo saw die was a fake victim. It wasn't actually Glenn. That they put on the show in front of Victor of, you know, him being poisoned, so it was actually Violetta, that was the waitress, and she like purposely made it so that he would see her poison the coffee, and then they gave it to the guy, and then the guy acted out dying, and all that stuff. And yeah, Mini Island's like, oh yes, this part. Wasn't that crazy when they just kind of threw that out there, dude? I don't know if you saw that coming. I definitely figured that it wasn't actually Maggie and that it was Violetta, but I didn't expect it to actually be Glenn being a fake as well, which was pretty crazy. So, but it kind of makes sense. You saw it coming. Okay, gotcha, huh? Maybe I'm just a dum-dum. I don't know. Yeah, I didn't see Glenn being fake coming. That one part was weird to me. I thought it was just going to be like, it wasn't Maggie, it was Violetta. But yeah, apparently what Phoenix is posing right now is that, yeah, it was all just like some setup to make it so that Victor believed that Maggie did it so that he could be the witness that proved Maggie was guilty or whatever. I've seen the black nail, but not Glenn Ellig being fake. Okay, gotcha. You're on the same page as me then. I gotcha. Yeah. Yeah, the Glenn Ellig thing, like the whole, like, it was a phony thing. Like, I don't know if you were in here when I made that decision to pick that one, Medi Hound, but I was like, I mean, was he a phony? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. But I guess the fact that he did apparently have the headphones in his left ear, like that had to be a fact that he did have in his left ear. And if he was the real Glenn, then he wouldn't have had it in his left ear. I mean, I guess that's pretty much proof, dude. So pretty interesting, you know? So he must never have actually won $1 million then? I wonder if that part was one thing too, but... Anyways, back to the recap for Crispy. So that's basically what we're trying to prove now. And now we got, Armstrong trying to describe that there wasn't enough time to have had all of those theatrics happen in the time span in which everything happened. Is I think what he's saying now, but we're in the middle of pressing him and everything. So that's pretty much all I've gone through so far, Crispy. So hopefully that gets you up to speed. But yeah, if you got any questions, feel free to ask. All right, let's see here. I remember a old man arrived not long after Ian. Him being Glenn, I think. By old man, you mean Victor Kudo, correct? Oh, oui. He comes often for my special coffee. I drank your coffee once, Mr. Armstrong. It's special, I'll give you that. It's worth a sip just for the experience. Oh, you make me so happy, monsieur. You are most welcome anytime. Now, I said it was worth one sip, but nothing more. It's like it wasn't actually a compliment, dude. Okay, thank you, Domm. Yeah, no problem, Crispy, anytime. Also, if you ever want to, you can always use if I'm not paying attention to you when you ask about the recap, I do have a recap command that you can use, and it puts a little robot in me that says like, hey, somebody's asking for a recap. Just to let you know, if I ever don't respond to you, just asking for it.
So, old Mr. Kudo arrived at the restaurant around the same time as the victim. Maybe I should ask about his arrival in more detail.
How many minutes after? What time was it? Let's say what time was it? Out of curiosity, about what time was it when Mr. Kudo arrived?
Oh, no. I cannot remember, monsieur.
I believe we were told by the witness yesterday.
The crime was reported at 2:25 p.m. by a kinda scary old man, sir.
Does that perhaps jog your memory, witness?
The incident happened about 20 minutes after he arrived. So the victim must have arrived between 2 o'clock and 2:10, no?
Just after 2, huh?
Thank you for your help in jogging my memory, monsieur. You are wonderful.
I can't sit here all the time and do nothing now, can I?
He's all proud of himself.
The time of day will be added to the witness's testimony.
Oh oui, monsieur judge. Everything I do it for you.
Merci, bien. That's French, isn't it?
I'm glad at least one person is in a good mood.
He's even humming a song to himself.
I remember the old man arrived not long after him, just after 2 p.m.
Are you absolutely sure about the time?
When I think really hard, I am sure it was just after 2, oui. It is the time I stopped serving a la lunch menu.
Quite right. I always break for lunch when the restaurants are serving their specials. I've been known to wind up a case early just to make it on time.
Haha, that's not a good thing to say, dude.
I guess you should never get between a hungry judge and his lunch.
Oh, would you look at that? It's almost lunchtime already.
No, Judge, don't rush it. Witness, get on with your testimony, please.
There were no other customers.
So your only customers were Mr. Kudo and the victim.
How many times do you need to ask the same thing, Trite? You'd never catch me drinking the same blend twice.
Huh?
You're trying to establish the presence of a phony victim in the restaurant. But you're wasting your time. You can't grind birdseed to make coffee, if you catch my drift.
I love the coffee slide-in thing.
But there's a hole in this testimony somewhere. I'm sure of it.
When he got the word he won the lottery, Mon Eleg became very excited.
Did you see him?
None. I was in the kitchen, but I heard him. I remember him shouting, "Yes, $500,000!" Presumably the defendant heard that too, then, correct? Maggie? She looked like a poor little frightened dove.
And what about Mr. Kudo?
The old man choked on some birdseed that got stuck in his throat.
It seems we now have yet another incident on our hands.
It was approximately 5 minutes later that the poisoning incident occurred.
And what time were you doing, and what were you doing at that point? Without any customers, you must have had time to kill.
I am a multi-talented woman, monsieur.
Sorry? What do you mean?
There is a renowned chef, Jean Armstrong, and the tragic poet, Clarence Armstrong.
Clarence?
Oui, I was writing a poem, an angry tale of a chef in $500,000 of debt, cooking for a man who won $500,000 on the lottery. It is called potpourri, or potpourri. It means why. Perhaps I could recite it for la court?
Please don't. I feel like I butcher so many of these little French words, dude.
None. There was no time for a phony to do la acting.
You mean you contacted the police as soon as the incident occurred?
I asked the old man to call from la payphone.
By your own judgment, right?
The purpose of this phony victim's performance was so the old man would see it. In other words, once the incident occurred, this opportunity would completely disappear.
Indeed.
Bien. It seems la shadow of la doubt has been lifted, n'est-ce pas?
I guess Mr. Armstrong is connected to this case, huh?
Absolutely. Someone was impersonating Mr. Ellig, and I refuse to believe he was oblivious. He was there the whole time, after all.
But if you're right, wouldn't Maggie have noticed too?
She fell unconscious when the incident occurred, remember?
Ah, you mean that's when the phony staged his act?
We'll know for sure once I find a hole in this testimony. Okay, so they're saying that they killed the dude first, before Victor got there, and then they must have taken Maggie somewhere because she was unconscious, and then Victor came in, and then they did the whole acting thing afterwards. Okay, and then maybe they brought Maggie back out, I guess. I'm not sure. I guess how long was Victor there then, right? La victime, Monsieur Elig. Oh yeah, we've already read through all this. Okay, let's see. What do we need to press here? Let's look at the court record. We got Jean's loan contract. Well, yeah, that doesn't match up. Time of death was between 1:30 and 2:30, but they're saying that. Hold on. Is what they're saying match? I think it might fall just before 2:30 then. I don't know. I'll have to keep an eye on that one. Let's see here. I don't think any of the other ones are gonna matter. All I can think is it would be the autopsy report, maybe. Let's look at his testimony again. The old man arrived not long after him, just after 2 p.m. And there's only 30 minutes to get everything done. The victim came to a restaurant alone. No other customers. 5 minutes later that the poisoning incident occurred. So that would have been only at 2:05, right? No time for the phony to do the acting. It feels like it's a subject of time, right? That's what makes me think about the time of death. It's between 1:30 and 2:30, but that seems like it's still possible that the death, what he's saying, that still matches up with it, I guess is what I'm saying. You know what I'm wondering is when did she ever get the lottery ticket? That's one thing I don't understand. Because apparently she served it to him, he took a sip and died, and then she fainted. So when did she take this? I mean, that's not what we're looking at right now, but it's just one thing that I'm thinking about. Like, when would she have had time to take it? How did it get into her pocket, you know what I mean? It's from the doctor before the bag is empty. That doesn't have a time on there. It just has a date. Medical papers don't have anything to do with this. I mean, I still got this Gumshoe's lunchbox. Are we gonna eat that or what, dude? I want to get some little weenies in me. You know what I mean? I don't know, man. All I can think is it's the autopsy report somehow. Might have to look up a hint for this one. Remember Maggie at the time of the incident has a small pocket in it, but big stains. Time for the phone to do the acting. It's gotta have to do with the time. How do I prove anything about the time? Alright, I think we're gonna look up a hint. This one got me too. Oh, got you too? Okay. That makes me feel better. Thank you for telling me that. It's so hard, man. Sometimes, dude, I'm like almost ashamed at how often I have to look up the solution. But hell, I'm here for the story, not for the figuring it out. I guess apparently. In the end, I just want to know what happens, dude. Oh fuck. Okay, I knew what to do. I needed to press him again because there was that one where he had another option. That's the first thing I saw bold on there. It was like, then you got to press him for that other question. It's like, oh yeah. Okay, let's do that first. I don't remember what statement that was. I think maybe it was the second one? Skip through until we get that prompt again. No, was it the first one then? I thought it was one of the first two. Oh shit. Well, maybe it was this one. Oh, shut up, Godot. Come on, come on, come on. I should have just looked at which one it was. Fuck it. I never remember which one has the prompt on it. It says statement 2. That's the first one I did. What? That's the first one I did? Because I skipped the first one and then I pressed. I thought I did. Maybe not. Fuck me. You sure about the time? Did I pick the wrong thing? Okay, I picked the other one, and I don't know, did I fuck myself? There's no way I could soft lock the game. That's 3? That was 3? How is that 3? This is number 1. That's number 2. How is it number 3? Because then, maybe you thought it was number 3 because then it ends and then it puts me on 3. But I pressed on 2. That's 2. Because that was the one that I got the prompt. I just picked the other question. Alright. This is number 1. This is number 2. You press it. Are you sure about the time? This is what we just went through. And then he tells me to go on with it. Yeah, that's statement 2. Am I just looking at the wrong one? Oh, okay, I see it. Okay. Yeah, it didn't matter which one you picked. I guess I did pick the right one first because it's telling you that you should have picked the other one first just to get a little bit more info. And that maybe would have helped me figure out what the thing I needed to present was. But yeah, there is a piece of evidence I have that must say something about time on it. Apparently it was this. I didn't think about it. Yeah, every day at Monday at 1:30 p.m. So yeah, the guy had to have been there before 2 o'clock. Because he was listening to the radio about the lottery, and that's only announced at 1:30. Got it. Okay. Damn. Should have got that. Damn. Oh, here we go. Present this on which ones? Whichever he says the time on. So probably this is a fine one to present it on. Present. Here we go. I'm afraid I finally got you, Mr. Armstrong. Cooey? What do you mean? At the time of in question, the victim was listening to the radio with his earpiece. The show he was listening to was Millionaire Radio. Each week, they announced the winning numbers of the $500,000 lottery ticket. Oui, that must be la show Mon Elig was listening to.
I can't see any problem with his testimony, Mr. Wright.
I wonder. You say the victim arrived at your restaurant after 2 p.m., correct? Oui, oui. I am sure of it. I remember it perfectly now. I know it is at that time because I had just finished serving a lunch menu.
Get to the point, right? If you have one.
That show is broadcast live at 1:30 p.m. And it claims to be the most thrilling 10 minutes of your life.
It's on the air at 1:30?
Now, supposedly, the victim made some noise when it was announced that he had won. And yet, I don't believe his cry of joy could have occurred after 2 p.m. Because the show had already finished more than 30 minutes earlier by that point in time. None! This victim we've been told about has done nothing but the impossible. Listening to the radio with a ruptured eardrum, catching a show that was already over. There was only one conclusion you could draw from these facts. This victim was the imposter acting out the poisoning 30 minutes after the real murder. Yes, there were 2 Glen Elligs in Trebian that day. The real Glen Ellig, now dead, having been poisoned by the real killer. And the phony Glen Ellig, acting out the events for Mr. Kudo to witness.
It certainly seems that way. I mean, if that wasn't the case, how could you explain the time discrepancy?
Quite a performance, Trite. You were almost on a roll. Huh? But sadly, you lack the rock-hard foundation of rhythm to build your song.
What is this, Music Theory 101?
Let's recap. According to your imaginative theory, it's now just after 2 p.m. The phony Ellig is performing a play for the benefit of Mr. Kudo. How do you explain then where the real Glen Ellig is? I don't believe I have to spell this out for the court. However, at that time, the real Glen Ellig was already dead.
That's certainly the obvious conclusion.
Thank you, Trite. That's exactly what I was hoping you would say. What? Now, I presume you can prove this theory of yours. Can you explain where the missing corpse went to? The missing corpse? According to the old man's testimony, there was only one other customer there. If that customer was the phony Glen Ellig, then where did the killer hide the body of the real victim? Nah! That's a good question. Where would his body have gone, huh?
Prosecution has a valid point, Mr. Wright. If your theory is to stand up to examination by the court, you must provide us with proof by answering the prosecution's question. Where did the killer hide the body?
Yes, Your Honor. No conjecture, Trite. Let's hear some facts for once. Show the court a piece of evidence that proves where the body was hidden. Oh shit, am I supposed to do that? Evidence?
What's with the intense pressure in here all of a sudden?
I thought I had him with that contradiction. But he's turned it all around and backed me into a corner instead.
Well, Mr. Wright, the court will now hear the defense's theory and evidence.
Just go ahead and save in case it puts me in one of those situations where I can't.
First, where was the body of the real Mr. Ellig concealed?
Outside Trebian or inside Trebian? Okay, so let me think. I mean, probably outside, probably in Tender Lender or something, right? Just trying to think, is there any reason why I should think that they would have left it in Trebian? There's nothing there to hide a body in, not that we noticed, right? Not that I remember. All we had was like the dining room and the kitchen didn't have like a freezer even or anything like that, not that we saw. But the Tender Lender, I don't know, the Tender Lender just makes sense to me because Don Tigre has to be involved, right? So I'm just gonna go ahead and say outside Trebian. We're gonna start with that. Clearly, there's no place to hide the body inside Trebian. Therefore, the killer must have hauled the body outside.
I see.
Nice supposition. But the real question is, can you back it up? Where's the evidence that proves the body was taken out of the restaurant? Is it the medicine bottle? What proves that it was taken out of the restaurant? Fuck, dude, I don't know. It's taken out of the restaurant. I mean, this is the only thing I could think of. They licked his ear medicine, but it didn't. It's not outside of the restaurant, though. It's still in the restaurant. It was in the kitchen, so I think I just played myself. Damn it. Maybe it was in the restaurant, I guess. Fuck. Because I don't know if I have anything that says, like for sure. Either way. You know what I mean? Man, this, like, intro evidence. Like, do I even need half this shit anymore? It's just there to throw me off, I swear. Let's see. I'm gonna go ahead and present the small bottle, and we'll see. Eh? Too bad. I don't think you'll ever grasp the real heart of rock and roll. What are you talking about?
He means that your evidence is irrelevant, Mr. Wright.
Of course it is.
Come on, Nick. You've got to think it through. Feel the beat, and then hit him with some heavy metal.
Okay, I need to calm down and get my facts straight. What should I do now?
Start over, present more evidence. I think start over so I can get back to the point that I was at, so I can say that he's inside still, and then we'll try the bottle of medicine, because that's the only thing I can think that would be like an indicator of his body being moved, is the fact that his medicine was still on him or something. And so he didn't have a chance to put it back on the table or in the bag, or I don't know, but let's just try loading that and trying that. And that might be wrong too, but we'll see. Inside. It would have been too dangerous to take the body outside. Obviously, the body must have been hidden somewhere inside Très Bien.
Interesting. But where could a body have been hidden inside a restaurant? Perhaps you would care to show the court on these plans, Mr. Wright.
Oh, okay. That's different. Yes, Your Honor. The exact location where the body was concealed inside would have been the kitchen, I would think. I don't know where in the kitchen, though. Like, does it matter where? 'Cause sometimes you know how, like, fucking... like, particular this game can get about where you're fucking clicking, dude. I've definitely gotten mad at this game before for that. I don't know. Let's try the kitchen, dude. Where else, man? The body was hidden here.
I see.
Nice supposition.
But the real question is, can you back it up? Where's the evidence that proves the body was hidden in that location?
And it had to have been this because we found it in the kitchen, right?
Mr. Armstrong, do you recognize this bottle?
None. None. I have never seen that ugly bottle before in my life. I only use la very best bottles, monsieur. The highest quality, only for me.
Where was that bottle found, Mr. Wright?
Interestingly enough, Your Honor, it was found in the kitchen of Très Bien.
Eh? Oui? But I only ever use these bottles for my aromatherapy oils.
But this bottle doesn't contain aromatherapy oil, Mr. Armstrong. No, it contains a medication.
What kind of medication?
I'm sure everyone remembers, don't they? That Mr. Ellick visited in damn it, Autoriolagondical Clinic. I don't know how to fucking say that. You know what I mean. Ear doctor clinic, and was given medication that day.
You can't be serious.
The defense had the contents of the bottle analyzed, and I have the lab results right here. The contents of the bottle match the prescription that was given to Mr. Ellick. Glenn Ellick's murderer hid the body in the restaurant kitchen, at which time this bottle fell out of the victim's pocket. Mr. Armstrong, when the incident occurred, didn't you say you were in the kitchen?
Mon Dieu!
Yes, you know what I'm about to say. It was you who hit the victim's body. You did a fine job pretending to defend my client, Maggie Bird, however. You were setting her up to take the fall behind the poor girl's back.
None!
Objection! Wait, why didn't that get the, Shouldn't that have been a better TTV emote when you do it like that? I thought that's what it turns into the emote. I'm not seeing the emote for some reason. That's weird. Did it turn into the emote for you guys? No, not even on the stream. Okay, that's weird. Well, what's up, Papa?
No, order! This is an extraordinary development. Witness, did you murder Mr. Glenn Ellick?
Never. I could not do an horrible thing.
Good evening.
No. What the fuck, Godot?
Mr. Godot.
How do you still have coffee left, dude?
The bitterness. Every time I get lied to, I always down a mug of coffee. That's one of my rules.
Do you have the slightest idea how many cups you've had by now?
Then I like to do the same thing to the person who lied to me. I'd like to take them down with my empty cup. Listen up, chef. How about a brand new flavor in your ear, my H-deficient friend?
Je vous demande pardon. Please, you must hear me out. It is a trap. Listen to me. Por favor.
Yo hablo español, Mr. Armstrong, and por favor is Spanish.
They were just chug hot coffee when in despair? Dude, fuck no, dude. I don't know how to fucking chug hot coffee in any fucking point in my life. But that just shows you how manly Godot is, that he can take that, dude. He can take the bitterness, he can take the heat. Doesn't matter to him. He makes the kitchen hot, just to keep everybody else out. Because a good chef makes coffee alone. I'm only going to ask you once. Did you do it?
None. None. Absolutely none. I simply...
Let's hear it. You've got one shot, right, Gramps?
Man, oh man, just you wait, Domm. Here we go.
Witness, the court will permit you the chance to make one final statement. If you lie under oath again, Mr. Godot's coffee mug awaits you. As does my gavel.
No, oui. It is clear.
What do they always say in the movies? I've got a bad feeling about this.
Very well. Begin your final testimony, Mr. Armstrong.
Godot probably drinks fancy Starbucks iced coffee. He just pours it in his mugs. Yeah, he just got a bunch of fucking fancy, like, very sweet coffee. He just talks about it being bitter all the time. But all that's just for show, dude. All right, final testimony for Armstrong. The confession.
It is true. I hid the body in the kitchen. A man forced me to do it. I had no choice. I had to go along with him because there was a reason why I could not refuse. But I did not kill him. I swear it. You must believe me.
I think I know the reason.
You were forced? By who?
I cannot say, or I will be erased.
Let's try a different question then. When Mr. Alec died, was he really the only person at his table?
There was... There was another man.
Aw, shit, here we go, dude.
I knew it!
Maggie was telling the truth.
Hell yeah, she was. I love this case. Hell yeah, me too. It's a good one for sure.
You may cross-examine the witness now, Mr. Wright.
There's just one more thing I need to do. I gotta break this guy and get him to tell us the name of the real killer.
I mean, how can you not love Jean Armstrong, dude? I mean, he kind of makes this whole case, in my opinion. Just that one character, dude. It's always these, like, super eccentric characters that just make the whole thing, dude. You switch to standing mode real quick. Okay, let's stretch. Oh, yeah. My reaction to him first time was priceless. Yeah, I know we had a pretty big reaction over here as well. As soon as he comes on screen, I'm just like, oh my God. I love this man with his sparkly eyes. Oh, it's so funny. And they keep, like, wondering if he's a woman, which is kind of funny. I can't tell if that's, like, insensitive or something, but it's kind of a funny, like, going joke with this guy or whatever. And he calls himself a woman as well. Mine was more what the fuck? Oh, you don't like him? You don't like him? It's one of my favorites, dude. He's a great character, dude. Even if he is guilty or whatever, he's great. I think he's funny, man. All right, here we go. I hope I do him justice with my shitty French accent that I do for him. Love him, just scared me. Oh, yeah, I totally get that. That makes sense. Yeah, we were probably a little scared in there, too. It was a little bit of a mixed emotion there. A little hysteria. I have a clip of it. Oh, I need to see that for sure. Feel free to post that in my Discord if you want, man. Yeah, I'd love to see that. He should be in JoJo. He should be in JoJo, dude. He definitely seems like a JoJo character. They did have that one chef character in Josuke in the Diamond is Unbreakable. This should have been him instead of that chef character. That would have been so funny. I would love to see his stand, right? Yeah. I wonder if he had a food stand like that one chef. Or maybe his would be something with aromatherapy or something, maybe. I can see that.
It is true. I hid the body in the kitchen.
Did you carry the body by yourself?
Oui, I carried him, and I carried Maggie too.
Maggie too?
When she saw the victim collapse, she fainted.
How could they have planned on her fainting? That's a weird thing to me.
I could not leave her there.
But why did you hide the bodies?
A man forced me to do it. I had no choice.
What man? Who was he?
None, I cannot say. I fear for my life.
He's really scared.
Oh god, some nonsense stand that can affect sense of smell. That would work really well, yeah. Yeah, I'm sure he'd be super effective.
You'll just have to put the words in his mouth, Nick.
Yeah, you're right. If he won't tell me, I'll tell him.
But why would you go along with this man?
I had to go along with him because there was a reason I could not refuse.
And what reason would that be, Mr. Armstrong?
You know, monsieur,
Yes?
surely you cannot expect a young maiden to talk about such an embarrassment.
A maiden? You're a bit old to get away with that.
And a bit too male.
I can't finish the cross-examination without establishing his reason. So we'll just have to prove it with evidence. He definitely wants me to show his contract, I think, on that one. So which one was that one? Had to go along with him because there was a reason. Okay, that's the obvious one.
But I did not kill him. I swear it. You must believe me.
So, you were claiming that all you did was hide the bodies? Is that correct?
Oui, that's right.
If we are to believe you, Mr. Armstrong, you must tell the court everything. You must make clear the identity of the man who ordered you to do this.
He's already confessed this much. We might as well stop dancing around the real issue.
Yeah, but he really doesn't want to tell us who the killer is.
Then suck it to him, Nick.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
We'll get him. I posted it in clips and highlights. Okay, sweet. Thank you. I'm definitely going to be checking that out. Oh, yeah, man. I love that. I love being able to check out your stream and see what you do with Phoenix Wright. It's so much fun to see like the differences and stuff and how people like play this game and the reactions and everything to it. I think it's definitely a game that I'll probably end up following on Twitch just to watch other people after I get through the trilogy, you know? Because it's fun watching you play, man.
It is true. I hid the body in the kitchen.
Oh yeah, I'm back all the way around. They forced me to do it. I had no choice because there was a reason. Okay, I think I know the reason, so let's go ahead and try that out. And the reason should tie him to Don Tigre. Present. I think it could be this. His loan contract from Tenderlander. You have a $500,000 debt, don't you?
$500,000? Is this true, Mr. Armstrong?
Oui, just to ease the soul. I was weak and I borrowed the money.
Yeah, from a payday lender, dude. This is Mr. Armstrong's Achilles heel. And that's why you couldn't refuse anything asked of you by this man. A $500,000 loan from a black market loan shark. And you had no way of paying it back, did you? That's why you were forced to do anything this man told you.
Oui, it is as you say.
Mr. Armstrong.
The tiger. He told me he was going to use my restaurant for a business rendezvous. On the day in question, he was meeting the victim to demand that he repay his loan. I don't know why it happened like that. I just did what he told me to do. I had no choice. I carried the body in la inconsistent Maggie out of the dining area and into the kitchen. After that, I just tried to forget what I'd seen.
I think we can now safely say that the man who forced your hand was Mr. Furio Tigre. Didn't they call him Don Tigre too? Is he Don as in like a mafia Don? Because I know they said Don Tigre at one point. I forgot his first name was actually Furio though.
I do have one further question for you, Mr. Armstrong. The poison and the lottery ticket that were found in the defendant's apron pocket. Was that your doing as well?
None. I knew nothing about that. Making it look like it was Maggie who had done it. I was not. It is despicable.
Mr. Godot. You will summon this Furio Tigre as a witness. I doubt that can be arranged today, so we will adjourn for now. Proceedings will continue tomorrow.
"30 minutes.
What?
The trial will go on. I'll see to it myself. I need half an hour to get that guy on the stand. Not a minute more." How the? Don't sit back and relax yet, right? No one knows that the chef is really telling the truth or not. This trial could still go either way.
Very well. Your request is granted, Mr. Godot. We will resume once Mr. Tigre is ready to take the stand. Until then, court is adjourned for a 30-minute recess.
All right, 30-minute recess. Go ahead and save, and we'll go ahead and take just a quick break. Gonna go to use the restroom, give myself something to drink, and maybe I'll watch Medi Ion's clip. And then we'll come back around. Okay, so before we continue on, guys, yeah, I'm gonna go use the restroom, refill my drink and everything like that. So this is a great time for you guys if you guys want to get up, walk around, do a little stretch, maybe get a snack or anything like that. Perfect time for it. Or maybe go to the bathroom just like me. All right, guys, but we will continue this in just a couple of minutes, so don't go away. I'll be right back.
Monday, Kenna, Bridge of Spirits. Tuesday, The Pillars of Earth. Wednesday, Web. Thursday, Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney.
You don't think we're being a tad fickle?
That's a good point.
Is it a good point, though? Is it, though?
Friday, Cyberpunk 2077.
Gave us a smooch, guys.
I'm indebted.
Maybe there's still a chance, baby. Still a chance. There she goes.
Monday, Kenna, Bridge of Spirits. Tuesday, The Pillars of Earth. Wednesday, Web.
All right, guys, I'm back. And here we are. Which reminds me, we need a new Wednesday game, don't we? I think I may have found it as well. I don't know if you guys have checked the Discord today, but I did post a new game that I bought this morning. And I think it might be the new Wednesday game, but we'll see. We shall see. All right, here we go. Continuing on. January 8th, 1:21 p.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby, number 1.
So we're finally going to see the tiger on the stand. We've almost got this case won now, Nick.
I wish I could agree.
Huh?
When I cross-examined Mr. Armstrong just now, he said he was just doing what the tiger told him to do. But Godot picked up on it, remember? He pointed out that, without proof, you don't know if what he testified is the truth.
You mean, you think Mr. Armstrong was lying?
I don't know, but if that's the line the prosecution takes, we could be in trouble.
I get the feeling that we don't have the cause-making evidence we're going to need.
Hey, pal.
Detective Gumshoe!
What are you so jumpy about, Detective? Your hair's standing on end.
Hey, that's the pot calling the kettle black, little Miss Top Knot.
It's not a top knot!
Never mind about the hair. Just calm down, all right?
I can't stand it still when I don't have a job to do, or I can't stand still when I don't have a job to do. I get kind of wound up.
No kidding!
You gotta have something you need me to do, pal. Anything.
Well,
Hey, I'm gonna take a jog back down to the precinct. I could get some prints analyzed for you if you've got an hour.
an hour? The trial will have to reconvene by then.
But Nick, we still don't have a really decisive piece of evidence, right?
True. Without some kind of trump card to pull out of the bag, we're really stuck.
You said you could get some fingerprint analysis done in an hour?
You bet.
In that case, would you mind checking the fingerprints on this for me? I can only think this. A small bottle, huh? Because it's the only thing that even mentions fingerprints, unidentified fingerprints, so it must be that. It'd be weird if you could pick the wrong thing. Like, I need you to do it for my attorney's badge. Get the fingerprints on that. What the fuck would that prove? If you're going back to the station anyway, could you find out whose prints are on this?
Oh, hey, that's a small bottle I gave you back this morning, right?
Yeah, I think it's time we solve the last mystery of who the prints on it belong to.
Sure thing, pal. Actually, that's been gnawing at me too.
Small bottle given to Detective Gumshoe.
Okay, I'll get this off to the lab right away. Just make sure you don't lose the case before I get back.
It's almost setting up like a Deus Ex Machina moment right there. He's gonna swing in with that piece of evidence right when we need him.
This is pretty much the final showdown, I guess.
It's time to separate the phonies from the real guys.
Hell yeah. Here we go. January 8th, 1:56 p.m. District Court, courtroom number 4.
Court will now reconvene. Mr. Godot, did you find this Furio Tigre?
I even tamed him for you. It was a 3-cup job, no problem.
Tamed him? The guy's name may be Furio Tigre, but come on.
He's pretty lively. Be careful. He still bites. Very well. Please show Mr. Tigre to the stand.
Just gonna run to the courtroom at the end. I object! Like it's a marriage or whatever. No, he just growled like a tiger. That's funny. I'm trying to remember his voice. He was sort of like Gumshoey, right? But he's got that mobster accent.
Why?
Ah!
Don't hide under the table, Maya. Unless there is room for me down there, too.
What'd you say to me? Nothing. I didn't say nothing. Honest.
Who could have guessed that fear would induce a bad Brooklyn accent in the judge?
I got business to take care of. You hear me? So who the hell you called me into this hole? Was it you, Spiky?
No, of course not. It was the judge. The judge hit it at the fucking desk or whatever. Your Honor?
Oh dear, I seem to have dropped my pen. Where on earth is it? Don't mind me, just carry on with the proceedings as normal.
That's it. We're doomed.
Maybe you didn't hear me. I said who the hell was it that called me in here?
There's no need to shout. We can all hear you.
What'd you say?
There's no point struggling. You're caught in a snare. The relentless snare of the law. It's so funny when it kicks in the Godot's theme. And I'm the one that hauled you in.
Too cool.
Don't let him get the better of you, Nick.
I love that she says that, like, I just imagine she's like all under the table, like in the fetal position. Don't let him get you, Nick.
Let's start with the basics. You know about the incident in question, correct? Incident? I didn't know nothing about no stinking incident, masked boy.
You mean you didn't attend the previous trial of Maggie Bird?
Maggie who? I got more important things to do than watch courtroom dramas. Of course. Well, perhaps you could give us your testimony then. Please, tell us about what you did on the day of the murder.
It's so funny they're all hiding under the desk because this guy.
Phoenix Wright.
Huh?
You was the one who set this up, didn't you? Or you's the one. You's gonna regret the day you ruffled the tiger's fur. You hear what I'm saying?
Oh. Maybe I should have brought a diaper with me today.
Get a grip, Nick.
You get a grip, Maya. The tiger's alibi.
I don't know nothing about no murder. I was tied up with business in December last year. Spent all my time in my office. I got whales lined up to borrow cash from Tender Linder every single day. You just want to check my alibi? Just ask Violetta. Ah, at last I found my pen. Very well then, Mr. Wright. Your cross-examination plea... Rah!
And then he immediately goes back underneath there.
What is it? Please, witness, if you could refrain from shouting out like that. I know the kind of games that guys in the blue plays. That lowlife ain't no lawyer. He just punches away at stupid details till he wins.
Low life? Me?
Listen up, Smarty. Every time you ask me something that doesn't relate to this case, I'm gonna bill you $50,000, and you's gonna borrow the cash from me.
That's one loan contract I refuse to sign.
And don't think it ain't gonna hurt when you tangle with the tiger. Ha! I love a good spectator sport. Just a minute! That's really not.
This witness is, how can I put it? A hungry tiger roaming the urban jungle. Get on his bad side, and he'll bite everyone's heads off. Yours, too.
Very well. I have no choice but to impose a penalty system here.
Aw, man, you're letting him run the court? Classic judge. Nothing intimidating about a guy who rides a pink scooter, right? That's pretty funny. That's extortion. Very illegal. Very cool. Let's see. I have to impose a penalty system. All right, whatever.
You better be listening. I said I got business to take care of. Big business. If I don't split now, I ain't gonna catch my bus.
Now it's on the bus now? Oh, how impressive. Oh, Mr. Tigre. You gotta get the bus. Okay.
The court will impose a penalty for any irrelevant pressing of witness testimony. Keep that in mind as you begin your cross-examination, Mr. Wright.
Yes, Your Honor.
You can do it, Nick.
Come out from under the... there already, would you, Maya? Alright, let's go ahead and save right at the top in case I fuck this up.
I don't know nothing about no murder.
I don't buy that you haven't even heard of the incident that occurred at Très Bien.
You's got a big mouth, right? You just trying to say I was in some sort of mob hit? Is that what you're trying to say? Where's your proof then?
Evidence. Yes, well,
For an attorney to make an accusation in court, he must have evidence. That's from loan shark to lawyer, a beginner's guide, yeah? Ah, I see you're the studious type, Mr. Tigre. Very good. Ha! Why don't you ask him to represent you sometime, Trite?
what should I do?
Okay, this is when I can't just press harder every time. I mean, I feel like we should just leave it for now. Let's see what all happens, and then we'll come back around for it.
It's too dangerous to press things without knowing where they might end up. I'd better just focus on gathering information at the moment.
Now then, Mr. Tigre, would you mind repeating your testimony from the beginning, please? My time ain't free, you hear? You's better remember that. If I miss that bus, someone's gonna pay. I don't know nothing about no murder. I was tied up in the business in December last year. Spent all my time in my office.
Are you sure about that? We're talking about 1 month ago, you know.
You see these teeth? That's how sharp my secretary is.
Sharp?
Is he talking about Viola Cadaverini?
She writes everything in my scheduler. December, mainly in the office. That's what it says, so that's where I was. That seems like a rather sketchy schedule. Yeah.
There he goes again! What the tiger did all December isn't the issue. What's important is what he was doing on the day of the murder. So, now what?
This seems like a promising one, but we'll leave it for now. It's still too dangerous, I think.
It's too dangerous to press things without knowing where they might end up. I'd better just focus on gathering information at the moment.
Now then, Mr. Tigre, would you mind repeating your testimony from the beginning, please?
Yeah, whatever. We just worry about this.
I got whales lined up to borrow cash from tender lender every single day.
So I take it you got a lot of customers at your black market loan office?
It's tough for the little guys these days. Small business are feeling the pinch. Bosses of companies like that want to get in good with me. I'm their best friend. I see. That's very that's very admirable of you, witness. Yeah, well, tender lender's motto is win through compromise, you know? Win through compromise? What is that supposed to mean? Compromise the customer to win. That's what it means. You's got it?
With best friends like you, who needs enemies?
Here, let me spill it out for yous all. You don't pay me back within 3 days, Spiky, I take what's due. You and your stupid hair. Yous follow what I'm saying?
But I'm not one of your customers.
Should I ask more about Tenderlender or not?
Let's leave it for now. Too dangerous. Yeah. He's gonna want him to start over from the beginning. I don't know why. Got whales. Let me run this one.
Yous want to check my alibi? Just ask Violetta.
By Violetta, you're talking about the Cadaverini families?
Yeah. You don't want to cross them, or you's gonna wind up sleeping with the fishes. Once the Godfather finds out you's been dragging Violetta through the mud, he'll do you in.
Sorry, I couldn't quite put it all together towards the end there.
He said that just like Viola, didn't he?
I get the feeling this might not be the right time to probe him about her.
I get the feeling this might not be the right time. And we need to start pressing something at some point. And we can save right here, so let's go ahead and just save here, and I'm gonna go ahead and press this one. See what happens. Come back around if we have to.
Mr. Tigre, what'd you want?
If you wouldn't mind going into a bit more detail.
This is a dead end, right? And you know it. Remember the rules.
Damn it.
Pressing the witness without evidence to back up your attack is prohibited. As I said earlier, the court will impose a penalty for such behavior.
Alright, fair enough. Let's go ahead and go back. So leave it. Too dangerous. Okay, so there's one that we must have evidence for. I don't know nothing about the murder. Just tied up with business in December last year. Spent all of my time in my office. I got whales lined up to borrow cash from tender lender every single day. If you want to check my alibi, I just ask Violetta. Okay, so it's not that Violetta one. We've tried that already. Got whales lined up to borrow cash from tender lender every single day. That doesn't really have anything to do with the case. Just tied up with business in December last year. Spent all my time in my office. This is the only one that really has anything to do with the case because he talks about December and that's when the incident occurred. So let's try pressing this one. And then we'll go into that. Press harder. He's talking about Viola Cadaverini?
She writes everything in my scheduler. December, mainly in the office. That's what it says, so that's where I was. That seemed like a rather sketchy schedule. Blah.
Here he goes again. The Tiger did in all December isn't the issue. What's important is what he was doing on the day of the murder. So, now what?
Press harder.
Mr. Tigre, what do you want?
If you wouldn't mind going into a bit more detail. Okay, apparently not this one then. There's like 2 more left, right? I don't know nothing. And I got whales lined up to borrow cash from tender lender every single day. That seems too far away. I'm gonna say I don't know nothing about the murder, I guess is what we gotta press on. I did not expect it to be this one that we have to press harder on. I don't buy that you haven't even heard of the incident that occurred at Trevian.
You's got a big mouth, right? You's trying to say I was in on some mob hit? Is that what you're trying to say? Where's your proof then?
Evidence, yes, well.
For an attorney to make an accusation in court, he must have evidence. That's from loan shark to lawyer, a beginner's guide, yeah? Ah, so you're a studious type, Mr. Tigre. Very good. Huh. Why don't you ask him to represent you sometimes, right?
What should I do?
Press harder, I guess. Watch this still not be the right one.
Mr. Tigre, what do you want?
A bit more detail. This is also not... Okay. Fuck, dude. I'm picking all the wrong ones first, dude. How do I do that? How do I fuck up that bad? Okay, leave it. So it's the whales thing somehow? I just... Way to go, like, the most opposite thing of what the game seems to be pushing you towards. Should have known. I mean, it might still not be this for all the fuck I know. Maybe I'm just supposed to present evidence for some reason. So I take it you get a lot of customers at your black market loan office.
It's tough for the little guys these days. Small businesses are feeling the pinch. Bosses of companies like that want to get in good with me. I'm their best friend. I see. That's very admirable of you, Winnis. Yeah, well, Tender Letter's motto is win through compromise, you know? Win through compromise? What is that supposed to mean? Compromise the customer to win. That's what it means. You've got it?
With best friends like you, who needs enemies?
Yeah, let me spill it out for yous all. You don't pay me back within 3 days, Spiky, I take what's due, and you stupid air. Yous follow what I'm saying?
And I'm not one of your customers.
Should I ask more about Tender Lender or not?
I guess so, because I guess maybe how we're going to tie this in is the fact that he's talking about how business owners want to know him. So now we're like, okay, so that means that Armstrong would want to know you because he's a business owner. And maybe that's part of how this is connected.
Mr. Tigre, what do you want?
Is it going to be the same thing? Okay, so it has nothing to do with pressing him on anything. Okay. Oh, fuck you, game. No, you remember the rules, game. You remember the rules. I fucking feel like it just switches stuff up on you, so I can't press anything. I just, have to present something? I'm just gonna look up a hint. Okay, what? Okay, I think I jumped the gun. Because it says I am supposed to press hard on the second statement and that I should end up giving me more information. But I think what I fell for is the fact that they must have just kept making it look like it was the same loop, but it wasn't the same loop. That must be what it is. Because it definitely looked like it was going to be a failure. So, okay, we'll try it. The game's just pulling a fast one on me, I guess. It's like punishing me for immediately loading back, I think. Which is a tricky one for you guys to do, you game devs. Okay, so let's try this again. Are you sure about that? See his teeth, da-da-da. Just got a really sketchy schedule for him. We press it harder. And the same thing happens. What do you want? More detail. They get mad at me. Dead end, but it's not a dead end apparently. Okay, there we go. Okay. Yeah, see? I jumped the gun, dude. That was my bad. I gotta let it play out. Oh, okay. Now, note to future Domm, let it play out, man. Because it might switch up on you. It's funny.
No, it's essential that we establish the witness's alibi accurately.
I agree.
Under the table, he agrees.
The victim was killed on December 3rd. Were you in the office that day too?
Maybe yous ain't listening. Of course I was. I never set foot outside. I had meetings all day with a bunch of cats wanting to do business with me.
Those tricky game devs, exactly, Noah. Those tricky game devs.
I ain't never seen that young kid before. And I do believe the witness's last statement was important. Mr. Godot, if you could please.
Mr. Tigre, the court asks you to add that last statement to your testimony.
Huh.
Don't let an animal beat you. Be a man, Your Honor, and ask him yourself.
The day you was talking about it, I was in the office too. I never saw that kid before.
Alright, let's see. Got a little progress. But I feel like we gotta continue on with this line of questioning, right? So we gotta press that.
You didn't know Mr. Glenn Ellig? Really?
I don't mess with the guppies when there are bigger fish to fry. What do you say, boss? Who? Me? How's about I hit you with a fat $200,000? Well, I was thinking about purchasing a nice car from Europe.
He's seriously considering this.
Wow, the Tiger is a really good salesman, huh?
Yeah, if I want to sell this case, I need to copy him.
How about you hit him with a fat piece of evidence, boss?
I wish it was that easy.
I got whales lined up to borrow the cash from tender lender every single day.
Okay, we already read that one, though. Okay. Dave's talking about... We saw that kid before. Okay, but I have evidence for this because I can present the calendar that was on Glenn Ellig's desk, right? Because he's got this that says, on December 3rd, the day of the incident, there was a note saying, meet with the tiger. So I'm going to try that after we save. Yeah, I think I got it. The music stopped.
Mr. Tigre, you claim you didn't know Mr. Glenn Ellig, but it appears that Mr. Ellig knew you.
What?
Mr. Ellig left this little note on his calendar. Meet with the tiger. And the date? December 3rd.
December 3rd? That's the day of the murder.
Exactly, Your Honor.
So, Mr. Tigre, I submit that you did indeed know one Mr. Glenn Ellig. Because on the very day of the incident, you met with him.
Not bad. You's actually not bad.
Sorry?
I was just messing with yous to see how good you were.
Did you hear that, Nick? He said you're not bad.
That's one compliment I could do without. Plus, he's lying through his teeth.
Witness, please remember that you're under oath. Lies will not be tolerated. You just called me a liar? Is that what you're doing? Ruh-roh.
Ruh-roh? Are you kidding me? That's hilarious. He's like Scooby-Doo.
So you're saying that your claim to have never seen that kid before is the truth?
And I said I'm dead serious. You'd better believe that's the truth. Huh. Then I'd say that gives me time to enjoy another cup of pure black magic. That is, while you testify for the court again, Mr. Tigre. Oh, yes, would you mind indulging the court witness?
He never actually met the victim? That's gotta be a lie right there. It's time I nailed this guy.
I ain't no liar. I never met Glenn Ellick. There was some lame guy with that name, though, wanted to borrow cash from me. I set up a meeting with the guy at my office, Tenderlander. I waited around for him, but he ain't never showed up. I ain't never even been to that Trabian joint, you's here?
But we know that he has because he has a Trabian match book that we found in his office. So I'm pretty sure that's going to be the next one. Or it's coming up. Might not be the next one, but we'll see.
I see. That all seems perfectly logical. You had arranged to meet with the victim, but he did not show up. I've heard it's pretty hard to keep appointments when you're dead. Very well. You may begin your cross-examination, Mr. Wright.
Yes, Your Honor.
Didn't I tell you I got a big deal going down today? I ain't gonna make my bus now. I'm gonna have to take the express train. That bill's going straight to you, right?
How could he even legally do that? Yeah. Guess who's legally responsible to pay that bill, though? Mr. Tigre.
Here we go. I ain't no liar. I never met Glenn Ellick.
Alright, I assume we're still under the same rules where I can't just press him for everything. Well, I can't press him for everything, but I can't just press harder, maybe? Alright, we'll see here. Ain't no lie, I've never met Glenn Ellick. We're gonna press on that. And yet, your name was written on the victim's calendar.
Get that horse count out of my face. I'm the tiger, not a lame horse, you porcupine. Tigers like me eat horses like that for breakfast. No. Witnesses aren't permitted to eat evidence. Not that they ever would. Well, there was a case once where a young lad ate.
Anyway, if you had never met the victim before, how do you explain this note he left?
There was some lame guy with the name, though. Wanted to borrow cash from me.
That's very strange. According to the manager of the firm where the victim worked, December 3rd was the date he had to repay his loan. He wasn't due to discuss borrowing money, but repaying what he owed.
Oh, yeah. Maybe he's right. Whatever it was going down at the beginning of December.
So you did meet Mr. Ellick then?
Hey, right. Who's might want to cool your jets a sec? I set up a meeting with the guy at my office, Tenderlander.
So your meeting wasn't supposed to be at Trabian then?
Why would I want to go to a dump like that? If I want to talk with my clients, I got an office decked out for the job. I got the best punching bag you ever saw in there.
Not exactly a professional office you've got there, you know.
So you were in your office on the day in question?
I waited around for him, but he ain't never showed up.
He didn't show up?
Ha! What do you think, right? Let's see. How does a dead man get from a French restaurant to a loan shark's office?
And you yourself didn't go to Trabian?
What are you trying to pin on me here? Why don't you come down to my office? We can chat about this thing in my way, yeah? I got the best punching bag you ever saw in there.
No need. I'm good, thanks.
Listen up. I ain't got nothing more to say except this. I ain't never been to that Trabian joint, you hear?
Never? Not even once?
Not even once. I was in my office that day that went down. I didn't put no poison in no kid's coffee, capiche?
Do you think he really didn't meet Glen Ellick?
Not likely. Because I'm convinced this guy's behind the whole thing.
So you mean that whole testimony he just gave was a lie?
Of course. So we can't afford to give him time to think of ways to plug the leaks in it. I've got to nail him while we still can. I think I know what to do. Go ahead and say... Alright, so we're going to present the matchbook that we found in his office. Tribune matches. Matches used for advertising found lying in tender lender. Mr. Tigre, is there something you'd like to tell the court about these matches?
Matches? What you's talking about?
We found them in your office at Tenderlender. They're from that restaurant.
What?
If you've really never been to Tribune before, what was a book of the restaurant's matches doing on your desk?
You've been snooping around in my stuff now, too, wise guy. What are you, my ball and chain? You ain't no board controlling me.
Or ain't no broad, I think is what it was. My bad.
Order, order. Well, witness, I think it's time you started telling us the truth, don't you? Gah! Sorry, I'm terribly sorry, forgive me. I ain't no pussycat. I don't go back on what I said. But okay, I was at the joint that day.
What?
But listen good, alright? I might have been there, but I'd still never met that kid. Well, well. Looks like an order just came in for another testimony.
I'm this close to proving it was him. He did meet Glen Ellick that day. And he did put poison in his coffee. He must have.
I was supposed to meet with a kid at the restaurant that afternoon. When I opened the door to the joint, I saw one ugly scene. The guy was laid out over the table, stiff as concrete. I figured if the place wasn't hot already, it was gonna be, so I split. I heard the cops' sirens on my way, and I went straight back to my office.
Is there a law against falsifying a testimony? Yeah, it's called perjury. Which is funny because they even mention it, Noah, because earlier, Mr. Armstrong, lied to the courts, and the judge even said, like, well, you just committed perjury, so I'll figure out how to deal with you later, And then, like, this guy's committing perjury left and right, but it's just like, okay, well, let's just continue on. I think so the judge is probably too scared of him to actually, accuse him of perjury or whatever.
There we go. I see. You didn't actually meet with him in the end, then. Well, Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, please.
Yes, Your Honor.
Hold it! If I wait around any longer, I'm gonna even not make the normal express. No more stupid questions. Ha! No problem. Anytime Troy presses you on something irrelevant, I'll see he pays a penalty.
So even for pressing now?
Mr. Godot, that's my job. Your job is to slam that little hammer of yours and call a guilty verdict. So do it. Yes, sir. The Special Express ain't cheap, right? Just so yous know since yous paying.
Oh man, doesn't the rule of law mean anything around here?
Yeah, apparently not, dude.
I was supposed to meet with a kid at the restaurant that afternoon.
Oh, we gotta pick the right one to press here. Let's go ahead and save right off the top here.
When I opened the door to the joint, I saw one ugly scene. The guy was laid out over the table, stiff as concrete. I figured if the place wasn't hot already, it was gonna be, so I split. I heard the cop sirens on my way out, and I went straight back to my office.
Heard the cop sirens, went back to his office. Dude, the place wasn't hot already, it was gonna be, so I split. What should I press him on? The guy was laid out over the table, stiff as concrete. When I opened the door to the joint, I saw one ugly scene. Hold on, let me see. Let me look at the floor plan again, because he said he saw the guy as soon as he opened the door. But I don't know if he would have been able to see that. Because the door, yeah, as soon as he opened the door, he wouldn't have been able to see it. I don't know that that's really that big of a deal, because maybe, you know, they'll talk about it and kind of figure it out. But see, here's the door that you enter in. This is where Glenn was sitting and he died. So if he opened the door, he wouldn't have immediately seen him, right? So that seems to be a little suspicious. I don't know. We'll see. So when I opened the door to the joint, I saw one ugly scene. I feel like that's the one we're gonna try first. An ugly scene? What do you mean?
The witness has already told us, right? Which makes that question irrelevant.
But...
I limit myself to 17 cups of coffee during a trial. That's the rule. You better limit the number of times you may take a penalty, right? Or your guts will look like the inside of a chimney, ashen. Don't make me burn you again, Mr. Wright.
Guess I should have pressed him on that.
Guess I'm gonna make that special express after all. So, to recap, this ugly scene you saw was...
Okay, I just thought he wouldn't have been able to see it, but apparently, fuck me then. So many of my theories just get shit on right away. He's supposed to be with the kid, and it's not to open the door. The guy was laid out over the table, stiff as concrete. I mean, that's like not true. This wasn't hot already. It was gonna be, so I split. I'll try this one. I'm just like not even going with my gut anymore. It's just like, let's just fucking do it. I don't care. I don't know.
So you didn't actually set foot inside the restaurant then? The tiger's a busy cat, and I don't hang around for no one. I ain't got time to be caught up in no murder investigation.
So, when exactly did you pick up the matches?
There were matches just inside the front door. Our detective friend wound up in trouble when the chef, after taking 5 books home.
Gumshoe did?
Poor Gumshoe. It's almost enough to make a man cry.
Oh, so they didn't press... Okay, so they didn't get mad at me for pressing that one? What the fuck are these rules, dude? Okay, well, let's press this one too then.
Heard the cop sirens on my way out, and I went straight back to my office.
You went straight back? Did a bout of guilt suddenly hit you for what you did?
What are you trying to say? You trying to tell me yous ain't never been guilty of nothing? We all have our crosses to bear. We all have to swallow the dark secrets we hide. Like this.
His dark secrets are his coffee? What does that mean?
The courtroom's not exactly the place to talk about dark secrets, is it?
It seems you've done it again, Mr. Wright. Another irrelevant line of questioning. I must impose a penalty accordingly.
How about a penalty for those 2 jokers and the garbage they keep coming up with?
Well, Nick, what do you think?
He's running out of ways to avoid the truth. I need to press him fast before he has time to think things through. I've got to come right back at him with a contradiction.
Be careful what you press him on, though, or you'll get penalized, okay?
Yeah, notice that, Maya. Thank you. Let's go ahead and take that penalty. Good. And this is one of the only ones I haven't pressed on. So I pressed on that one. Didn't press on that one. Pressed on that one. Pressed on that one. So there's 2 of them I haven't pressed on. So we'll try the first one. The whole before he has time to think of something maybe is hinting at the first one. I don't know.
I was supposed to meet with a kid at the restaurant that afternoon.
So the meeting wasn't due to take place at Tenderlender at all then?
The kid was making a fuss about coming into the office. It's always that way when I want to talk about repayments. Even though I got the best punching bag you've ever seen in there, or, wait, you've ever seen if there are any issues.
Well, how does the punching bag help with issues when you punch him? I don't understand.
Maybe it's because of the punching bag that people are scared to come.
So that's why he decided to meet at Très Bien.
Huh. You're going over old ground again, right?
Sorry.
You just earned yourself a penalty. Now suck it down. You will suck it down. You will suck down the penalty, Mr. Wright, and you will like it.
That was pretty funny.
Thank you, sir. May I have another?
Yeah, this is getting annoying with like the penalties and stuff, man. Like, I guess the people who made this game expected you to scum save and just reload your save, because it's like pretty ridiculous how often we get like penalized and then not penalized, and like things suddenly become like a penalty when it didn't feel like it was going to be and stuff. Like, it's like impossible to see some of the shit coming, you know? It's just like, I don't know, whatever. You just gotta like roll with it, I guess. Okay, we'll try this one then. I don't fucking know. Whatever, dude. Let's see what happens.
You mean you saw Glenn Ellick's dead body? I guess I did, but I only saw him from the behind. He was wearing some raggy bit of cloth he called a hat.
And what time was this?
I don't know.
Huh?
You know what winds me up more than anything else in the world? Watches. Round watches. I ain't gonna pollute my paws with some ticking henpecker. Out of interest, Mr. Tigray, what winds you up the second most? Huh? What do you think? Square watches.
Is this guy for real?
Look, all I needed to know was that something bad was going down in that place.
Okay, so I got nothing. I've already pressed on everything now. We didn't get anything out of any of it. Okay, so there must be a contradiction in here. Let's see. He doesn't tell us a time. I mean, this was in his office, right? Potentially worth millions of dollars. And we found it in his office, but it's not like written on the description, so that worries me with how we'll actually be able to use that or not. I don't think it's for this moment. No, let me look up a hit. I do not know. I feel like I'm just lost on this case at this point. This case has just lost me. Like, I feel like, honestly, it's not very satisfying at this point as, like, the game part. Like, the story's still fun. I'm still having a good time with that, but, like, the game part of it, I feel like I'm just like, I don't know, dude, fuck it. At this point, like, fuck. Okay, you got past the matches part. Okay, I was right about what I was trying to get at. Okay. Interesting. He couldn't have seen the guy because he was just going through the front door. Okay. So I was right with that. I should have just presented the floor plan. Okay. Man, with all the craziness, with all the penalties and stuff, I just kind of forgot that I was even on to that. Okay, cool. Let's meet the kid. When I open the door, I saw an ugly scene. So it should be for this one. Just need to present the floor plan. Oh, not check the floor plan. Derp. Present. There we go. You're something of a loan collecting pro, aren't you, Mr. Tigray?
No one escapes the tiger's clutches.
Well, I'm something of a lie detecting pro.
Yeah.
And no one escapes the Phoenix's clutches. I think it's time he got something straight.
What's this, right? A new line of irrelevant questioning?
These are the floor plans of the crime scene. You say you were standing at the entrance, Mr. Tigray. From there, your field of vision would have covered an area something like this.
Indeed, the witness would have had a clear view of the victim's seat. Isn't that what I just said? I saw the back of the kid's head.
Unfortunately for you, that is not possible. If the court would think back, you'll remember that between each of the tables is a tall partition.
Why, that's true.
Now look at the plans again. The truth is painfully obvious. From the entrance, the field of vision of any customer walking in ends here. Oh, he's sweating now, dude. So, from the entrance of Bien, you couldn't have seen the victim's seat. But you did see the victim that day because you met with him.
Wrong. Have you forgotten the old man's testimony yesterday?
Okay, yeah, that's funny coming from you, Godot, because you were the one saying that this entire testimony didn't fucking matter earlier. So fuck you, Godot. They're so wishy-washy, these goddamn prosecutors sometimes, dude. Like, 1 minute, it's the one thing, and then it's the complete opposite when it's convenient for them. It's like, no. Why can't I call Godot out on his bullshit?
The victim was alone at his table.
But the defense just proved that point to be moot. The victim witnessed by Mr. Kudo was not Glenn Ellig, but a fake.
What?
In order to have Mr. Kudo falsely testify, the real killer posed as the victim he had just killed and acted out a charade.
That will do. This trial has gone on long enough without the obvious question being answered. Who exactly was this real killer who impersonated the victim?
I mean, it's the guy who does all the impersonations, I guess, huh? Right?
You say the killer murdered Glenn Ellig, and then impersonated his victim in the performance for Victor Kudo.
God, why am I just stumbling all over this all of a sudden?
In that case, Mr. Wright, reveal the identity of this criminal to the court.
I mean, it's the guy standing in front of us, too. Obviously, the killer is Furio Tigre. No one else could have done it.
What? Well, witness? Now that's cute. You think you can pin this on the tiger? Maybe you just don't understand. The tiger is king of the jungle. So I dares you to say it again. Come on, you got the guts. You can't just threaten me, Mr. Tigre. It's the defense. Go ahead and tell the witness, Mr. Wright.
Ian Phoenix is under the fucking table now.
Mr. Wright! Sounds to me like it must be old man. You've got guts, I'll give you that. Mr. Wright, do not leave me to handle this alone.
Huh. Perhaps I can end this embarrassment.
Mr. Godot.
Let's just go back over Mr. Kudo's testimony one more time. Since I threw it out at the beginning of this whole fucking trial, we're just gonna go right back to it like it actually matters now. The old man didn't see the victim. Oh, no.
The servant girl brought him a Giacchino, but she put something in it. There's no question about it. She's very conspicuously put some white powder in there.
Was the victim he saw the real victim or not? That doesn't matter. The fact remains, he saw the accused put the poison into the coffee. How does that not matter? Godot is bad at his job. He's honestly probably one of the worst prosecutors we've had. I feel like I have so many times where I'm just like, Godot, no, just go home, dude. Like, more so than Edgeworth or Von Karma, man. Like, I like him, I think he's a cool character, he's got a funny little quirk to him, but he's not good at his job. Very impressive, Mr. Godot. Waiting for my absence to launch your attack. Huh. Found your pin at last, right? It was in my pocket. But anyway, Mr. Kudo witnessed two people that day. He saw the victim, the supposed Mr. Glenn Ellig, and the waitress from behind.
Yes, your point, Mr. Wright.
I think the conclusion is obvious. If this Glenn Ellig was really the killer in disguise, then surely it's possible that the waitress was also a part of the show.
What? You mean The waitress was an imposter as well?
The defendant, Miss Bird, fell unconscious immediately after the incident. And someone used her fainting to hatch an elaborate plan to pin the murderer on her.
Who on earth was it? Who was the waitress that Mr. Kudo witnessed?
And I've known this since like the beginning, dude.
Who is this woman?
Her name is Viola Cadaverini. She's an employee of Tender Lender.
He was making a big mistake. Do you know who Violetta's grandfather is? You'd better be going home in an armored truck tonight if you know what I mean.
Stop shaking, Nick.
Where was I? Yes, the defendant, Miss Bird. She stated the following.
Well, when I took the coffee over to the victim's table, it's true there was another customer in the restaurant. She was sort of creepy. And she had a kind of cackling laugh.
Yeah.
There are just too many contradictions in this case. The second man at the victim's table who nobody but Miss Bird seems to have seen. The earpiece worn by the victim in his left ear when that eardrum was ruptured. And the radio show was supposedly listening to half an hour after it was over. There is only one logical explanation that clears up all of these contradictions. The whole incident took place twice, once for real and once for show. And Mr. Furio Tigre, the only person who could have committed the crime, is you.
Yeah. Witness, what have you got to say?
That's cute.
Sorry?
You's all right. I could do with a guy like you around. What do you mean?
Okay, I'm in on this game.
I'm gonna have a charter a jet to get to me. I'm gonna have to charter a jet to get me to my meeting now, but I'm gonna give yous one more thing to think about before I go. Something to think about? You's got it all wrapped up nice, huh, right? But you's missed out one real important thing. But that can't be! I was in the joint that day, and I met that kid too. He just keeps admitting things. But I couldn't have poisoned him, you see?
What? Do you really expect us to believe you now, Mr. Tigre?
Huh. What a troublemaker. Troublemaker? Looks like we're going to need another one for the road. One more steaming hot cup of testimony.
Indeed. Witness, you will explain yourself to the court. I will give you one more chance to testify. What happened that day at Trebien between yourself and the victim?
Yeah, I loaned Ellen cash, about $100,000. That day, we was due to have a little chat. The kid had hit his paycheck date, see? So anyway, he tells me he's got no way to pay up. I'm about to flatten the guy when he starts screaming. Yes, I won $500,000. You got lucky, you know, real lucky. If that waitress hadn't done what she'd done, everything would have been over.
Now, I see that the principal amount you loaned Mr. Ellig was $50,000.
Yeah, well, he's got the VIG to take into account. Interest builds up fast, you know.
That's faster than fast. $100,000 is twice his principal.
And the repayment deadline was December 3rd, the day of the incident in question.
Yeah, he was one lucky kid. He got that $500,000 just in time. So I ain't have no reason to kill the kid. And if I ain't got no motive, you ain't got no case.
His motive? He has to have one. But what is it?
It's the virus. He wanted the virus from him so he could get it for $1 million, because, you know, $500,000 small bucks to the $1 million that virus could get him on the black market. Okay, we'll go ahead and save here. Cash. I think I don't have a penalty rule. They didn't say anything this round, so we'll just go ahead and press everything. We'll see what happens. Did he have any way of paying back the loan?
The fool was a gambler. He said he couldn't give it up till he landed the big win. So I agreed to help him. Help him? You? I kept hitting him with ideas for ways he could get big and he could get a big win. But the guy kept losing.
So you were helping him for his sake or yours?
Win through compromise. Yous help me, I help yous. What's the difference, huh?
I don't believe this.
Nick, would anyone really ever loan money to somebody they thought was unreliable? Like, for example, if it were you, I'd only lend you $5 max.
Thanks a lot, Maya.
That day we was due to have a little chat. The kid hit his paycheck date, see?
So how much were you expecting him to pay you back on that day?
What do you think? The whole package, $100,000, including interest.
Okay, yeah.
That's a real heavyweight punch.
If a client misses a repayment, you call the whole loan in. You want to make it in my world, that's all you's gotta know. And how many times has Mr. Ellig been late with his repayments? Once.
And how much was he supposed to pay back every month?
$50.
Sounds like Mr. Ellig was in a really sticky spot.
Yeah, at $50 a month, he'd never pay that huge loan off.
Especially with that fucking interest, dude.
So anyway, he tells me he's got no way to pay up.
How much did he have left in his debt?
You want it in round figures? About $100,000.
That's the whole amount!
We're talking about a guy who was 58 cents in his wallet.
What? You telling me he wasn't even gonna pay for the coffee? He certainly seems to have been a brave man, this Mr. Ellick. That guy was smooth, I tells you. Real smooth. You'll have your money in less than 5 minutes, and that's what he says to me. The guy then calls me the tender tiger. He was skating on thin ice with me. About to flatten the guy when he starts screaming.
Was that because the
guy won the lottery? Was his last chance at a big win. And you can confirm that this is the ticket in question. That's it. The Millionaire Radio show starts at 1:30 p.m. and runs for 10 minutes.
Hey, what's up, Stella? Stella wants a recap. That sounds good. I passed out. Last thing I remember was Tigray admitting to lying that he was actually at Trabian. Okay, so that wasn't too long ago. Okay, recap from that. Let me try to backtrack what happened. Because it really, you weren't out that long then. He admitted, because then we showed him the matchbook is what you probably saw then. And then that proved that he was there. And then he was like, okay, I went there because the kid wanted me to meet him there, but I didn't actually get to meet him because I opened the door and there was the big scene happening, and so I immediately left because I knew the cops were coming. And then we proved that he couldn't have seen the scene from the front door because Glenn Ellig was dead behind a wall that you can't see from the front door. So that was a lie. Unintentional power nap. Yeah, it must have been really short because I think that was just honestly the last testimony that we were at. This is all you missed. Because we proved that by using the floor plans to show him that he couldn't have seen it from there. And then now he's like, okay, I met the kid, but I didn't kill him. And that's basically what his stance is now. He's like, okay, so I went in there, you know, he talked, he said he couldn't pay, and then all of a sudden he started screaming because he won $500,000. And then I guess the waitress killed him. right in front of him, I guess, is basically what he's saying. I can't remember exactly how he ends it, but that's where we're at right now, so we'll go through that. So yeah, you only missed one testimony there, Stella, so not a bad little power nap there. Hope you feel good after waking up from that. And if there's anything I missed, anybody, I mean, let me know. I think that's all she missed, but if anybody else is paying attention and you know I missed detail there, just throw it in the chat.
That fixes the time you two met with some accuracy.
And the whole scene was acted out again 30 minutes later. Also that Mr. Kudo would see it.
I can still see the kid's face now. I ain't never gonna forget it. Yes, I won $500,000. You got lucky, you know, real lucky.
Was there anyone else in the restaurant at the time?
I don't remember.
If there was no one there, I'll wear that ridiculous tiger shirt for a month.
That's funny.
Mr. Armstrong and Maggie, and if I'm right, the Viola Cadaverini were all there at that time.
So, the victim had intended to repay you from his lottery winnings from the beginning? Seems that way to me. But you wouldn't normally expect to win the lottery, would you? Ha. The undying belief that your next roll will end the worst losing streak you ever had. That's what defines a true gambler.
Two gambling addicts, huh?
He makes it sound so cool.
Don't be tempted, Nick. You haven't got the willpower for it.
All I know is the kid took a shot and he got lucky in the end. If that waitress hadn't done what she'd done, everything would have been over.
The waitress, you mean?
The girl with the glasses in the defendant's chair. Who else could I mean? If she hadn't got in the way, things would have been bada bing, bada boom, over and done with.
Maybe I should push a little on this.
Ask about what Maggie did. Ask how things would have been. Let's see here. Hey, Noah's resubbing. Thanks, man. Hell yeah, dude. The kid got lucky. You see me? Hey, I got lucky because Noah's Archives is subbed to my channel. Ooh, ooh. I'm so lucky. Thanks, man. I really appreciate your resub, dude. Hell yeah. Let's go ahead and save here real quick. Ask about what Maggie did. Ask about how things would have been. I'm gonna ask about how things would have been. We'll do that first. What do you mean things would have been over and done with?
Are yous all over or what? Are yous all there or what? I'm talking about the cash. I was there to get my $100,000 back. That's all. I'm a businessman. It was all coming together before that waitress got in the way. As far as I can tell from the witness's testimony, other than recouping his loan, Mr. Tigre had no motive for killing the victim. Witness, you will amend your testimony to reflect what you just said.
The tiger's motive, huh?
I mean, I know what his motive could be. It's after 100,000, I didn't have no other reason to. Okay.
I was after the $100,000. I didn't have no other reason to kill the guy.
So I think this is when we could press or could present something. You were gonna present the $1 million bill for cranial surgery. Am I jumping the gun on that though? Maybe this should be it, because he wanted to get the MC bomber, because it's potentially worth millions of dollars. We just saved, didn't we? Oh, I'll fucking save again, just to make sure. I'm gonna try the MC bomber thing first. So you just intended to get back the $100,000 Mr. Ellig owed you, correct?
I loaned the guy the cash, so that's my right.
Unfortunately for Mr. Ellig, I don't believe the $100,000 is what you were really after.
Objection! What are you getting at, right? What else would a moneylender be after than money?
Oh, the moneylender was after money, but money in a totally different league. The kind of money that would a single disc like this would fetch.
Ugh. What is that?
A computer virus, Your Honor. A virus called MC Bomber.
A computer virus? What does one of those do?
A computer virus is a program that wreaks havoc on the insides of a computer.
A computer? What does one of those do?
That's so funny. I guess the beard isn't the only part of his honor that is from the Stone Age.
I'll explain it to you later, Your Honor. Right now, this is the important point. A virus like MC Bomber would be worth several $1 million on the black market.
Several $1 million?
Lending money with no hope of ever seeing repayment would normally be bad for business. But in this case, the very fact that Glenn Ellick had no way to repay the money is crucial.
What?
Glenn Ellick was a programmer, a highly skilled programmer. That skill was the collateral Mr. Ellick put up in order to borrow the money.
You're trying to suggest the witness's motive was to get a hold of that program?
Exactly.
The witness may have poor fashion sense, but he is by no means an idiot, right? A man like him could get his hands on $1 million without resorting to murder.
Of course he could, provided that he had time. But what if he had needed the money right then? When the pressure's on, the luxury of choice tends to disappear.
It seems you have a logical conclusion for this theory, Mr. Wright. Would you care to share it with us?
I would care.
Why did Mr. Tigre need money to the tune of $1 million?
Because of Violetta's medical papers, I think. In December of last year, you found yourself in need of a huge amount of money. About 6 months ago, you were involved in a traffic accident, weren't you? An accident involving a car and a scooter in which a young woman was injured. She was taken to the hospital, where she underwent surgery.
How much of this do yous know?
These medical papers document the treatment of the young woman in question. According to these, her operation cost $1 million. And yet, when the payment was due last month, you somehow managed to pay it in full.
$1 million? A preposterous sum. Someone should use these HMOs.
Huh, no one would pay a bill like that. If the medical association got wind of it, the hospital would end up as dead as the morgue. But Mr. Tigre had no choice but to pay. Because his very life depended on it.
Gah! Oh, order! You say his life depended on it, Mr. Wright?
Indeed it did. Simply because the injured woman was none other than Viola Cadaverini.
Did you say Cadaverini?
Bruto Cadaverini, mob boss in charge of all underworld activities in the city. And doting grandfather to his precious Violetta, also known as Viola Cadaverini. Your life was in danger unless you paid compensation to the boss, correct? It makes sense. You were desperate to acquire the $1 million Bruto Cadaverini demanded of you. So desperate, in fact, that you decided to sacrifice Glenn Ellick's life to pay your debt. On the day of the murder, Mr. Tigre's sole intention was to get his hands on this CD. Glenn Ellick had no way of paying back the $100,000, and Mr. Tigre knew that. But then a miracle happened. The kind that Mr. Tigre would prefer to say never happened, but it can't, and neither can I.
The lottery win?
Exactly. At the 11th hour, Mr. Ellick won $500,000 on the lottery, which left Mr. Tigre with no way of getting his hands on that all-important CD. At least, no legitimate way. Salt Bay. So we resorted to illegitimate means.
That's crazy.
He murdered Glenn Ellig and then made his next move to frame Maggie Bird for the crime. Mr. Tigre posed as Glenn Ellig, while Viola Cadaverini played the role of Miss Bird. And then they reenacted the whole thing in order to establish a witness. And there's Victor the whole time, watching this craziness. The witness being the one we all heard testify yesterday, Mr. Victor Kudo.
Like I said, Trite, that's crazy. No one could pull off a stunt like that. For starters, there's no way the chef could have been kept in the dark about it.
But Mr. Armstrong was in the form of... But Mr. Armstrong was in on it from the very beginning. Have you forgotten already, Mr. Godot? Mr. Armstrong owed the witness money too. $500,000, in fact. He had no choice but to go along with Mr. Tigre's plan.
Order, order! Silence, or I'm clearing. You put on a good show, Spiky.
Huh?
If you want to stay alive in the loan shark business, you gotta be careful. You saying I dressed up like that kid, created a witness, and framed someone? If I did something crazy like that, I'd leave a trail as bright as my shirt. I ain't dumb enough to do something sloppy like that.
I agree.
You do?
Despite your appearance, you are very careful. That's why you took one more precaution. One more trick to make sure Miss Bird had no way out.
What? Another one, Mr. Wright?
Interesting. Why don't you fill us all in, Trite? Oh, jeez, I'm not even sure what Phoenix is on about. One sec. I honestly have no idea where he's going with this. Like, Phoenix, you gotta let me know, brother.
What was the trick you say Mr. Tigre performed to frame the accused?
The trick he performed. No, because he did this. Frame the accused. Because then he acted like he was me. So it's gotta be this, right? Come on, spit it out. Spit it out, Godot. Oh.
And what's the relevance of that, Trite?
It's just a little intro.
An intro into what? It seems all this has been an elaborate trick on the part of the defense.
Oh, really? That wasn't it? But he did that. God, fuck you, game. No, wait! Mr. Trigger, you did play a trick, a huge trick.
Interesting. Why don't you fill us all in, Trite?
Oh, so it really, okay, that really was wrong. I was trying to let it play out, so I didn't do the same thing I did last time. Fuck it, I'm looking it up. I don't know what the fuck he's on about. I don't want to risk it, man. That's exactly what I just tried to prove, Noah. You're on the same wavelength I am, because I presented this, the magazine clipping about the article from December 5th says I was trounced and my client was found guilty. I was on the exact same wavelength as you, man. Yeah. That's why when I said, that's why when it didn't work, I just said, fuck you, game. Because it's like, that should be it, so fuck you. Oh, there's another way to say the same thing. Here's what we forgot. Noah, we were right on what we were thinking, but we're supposed to use the paper badge because we found it at Tenderlander. Why did the magazine work? Usually, like, it's like one of two things. Why couldn't the magazine have also worked? Damn it. Well, I'm gonna, like, reload, though, so... because I don't want to lose that many points. So as soon as I can, I'm just gonna load. See, we knew, Noah. We knew what was up, dude. Just because the game, you know, is playing fucking tricks on us.
What on earth is that? What an insult to think anyone would be fooled by such a childish imitation.
Consider yourself insulted, Your Honor.
Mr. Tigre, you didn't just pose as the victim on the day in question. A month ago, in this very court, you posed as me.
What? That's
The truth.
But the witness looks nothing like you, Mr. Wright.
Exactly, dude.
Although, now that I think about it, it was you, wasn't it? No doubt it was you, standing here, this very court, a mere month ago. The Phoenix Wright who put the most disreputable, shabby defense I had ever seen.
Can you prove that, Gramps? Prove the attorney who represented the accused here a month ago was this man. Are you prepared to take the stand and testify that it was him?
Gulp. Hey. Forget about it, yeah? I would do something like that, not me. You made a mistake, right? It was someone else, huh?
Have you no pride, sir? This isn't a matter of pride. In case you didn't know, Trite, here in court, we deal with people's lives.
Nah. Mr. Godot is right.
Your Honor?
Speaking for myself, I am absolutely convinced. The attorney in question was the witness standing before me now. However, I preside over the court as the judge, with the vested power in hand to hand down a verdict. Someone in my position cannot be swayed by a memory without evidence to support it.
No!
The defense has no further evidence. The court will now excuse the witness. The circumstances surrounding Mr. Tigre are dubious for sure, but not conclusive.
But we've come so far.
You say he impersonated Glenn Ellick. You say he impersonated you. But none of that adds up to a murder charge. You don't have a shred of evidence the witness poisoned the victim's coffee.
Nah!
Ah!
He was like ready to throw in the towel there for a second.
Sucks to be you, right? Don't mess with the tiger, or you're gonna get mauled. You's got that?
All we managed to do here was chase him around a bit. I was so close to getting him to admit his own guilt.
Huh. Looks like I won't be needing a refill.
I just had one more piece of evidence. One more piece of evidence, and then maybe I could get Maggie off the hook.
This witness's cross-examination is over. You are free to go, Mr. Tigre.
Hold it. Because fucking Gumshoe's back, right?
Your Honor, sir! Wait!
That's so funny. It's just like Mon Karma's Deus Ex Machina moment. Like, it's like the same framing, like the same exact background or whatever. But it's fucking Gumshoe. Hell yeah, baby! I fucking love Gumshoe, dude. He's gotta be like my top 5 favorite characters, man. So hard to pick a favorite, though.
Detective! Detective Gumshoe! Sorry it took so long, pal. I staked everything on this. My badge, the works. So here it is. My heart's counting on this, too. What is it, Detective? Is it obvious, pal? It's the final decisive piece of evidence. What?
How dramatic. Oh, so we go into a recess real quick? January 8th at 2:48 p.m. District Court to Defenders Lobby number 1.
Sorry it took so long, pal, but I finally got the results back from the lab.
The results?
About the prints, pal, from the medicine bottle.
Oh, so do you know who the prints belong to now?
Do you think I'm some kind of hack detective? Of course I know.
So tell us. They're the tigers, right? I knew it.
You bet. Clear as crystal all over the bottle. They're Furio Tigre's paw prints, all right.
That's great. We've got him now, Nick. What's wrong with you? You've hardly said a word since Detective Gumshoe got here. He's laid everything on the line for this, Nick.
I know. Look, I'm sorry. This is kind of hard to say, but it really doesn't make any difference whose fingerprints are on that bottle now.
Huh? What? Why not?
What we need to produce at this stage in the trial is irrefutable evidence that the tiger put poison in Glenn Ellick's coffee. He's already admitted that he needed the victim, or that he met the victim. The fact that his prints are on this bottle, that really doesn't make any difference now.
I knew it. Great. No matter how hard I try, I'm never of any use.
Hey, don't be so hard on yourself.
This is our last chance to help Maggie. And I've been working on some useless piece of evidence the whole time. It's alright. I'm a real loser. It's not breaking news to me, pal.
Detective Gumshoe? Maggie! You've been working on something for me?
Did they say what the poison was? Yeah, from the very beginning we knew it was cyanide. Potassium cyanide is what it is. Because we found the bottle on Maggie's person. And there were traces of cyanide in the cup.
Sorry I let you down, Maggie. I know you didn't do it. And I'm a detective. We're supposed to be able to prove stuff like that. I'm really sorry. I'll get out of here.
Detective Gumshoe, wait!
He's gone.
Isn't there anything we do now, Nick?
I wish there was! Gumshoe worked so hard to get that evidence. If only there was some way I could use it. Victim's ear medicine covered in Furio Tigre's fingerprints. Okay, I have an out there theory. Lay it on us, so let's hear it. January 8th, 3:04 p.m., District Court, courtroom number 4.
Mr. Wright.
Yes, Your Honor.
I granted you a recess so you could prepare this decisive evidence you've discovered.
Yes.
Don't keep us all in suspense, right? Show us. Naturally. We could assume it's evidence that will actually stand up in court, can't we?
Think, Phoenix! Don't let Gumshoe's hard work go to waste.
How much more of my time are you gonna waste? I ain't been to no court before. But you lawyers sure know how to blow things out of proportion. No doubt, given the nature of the evidence, it will speak for itself. Nevertheless, you will talk us through it, Mr. Wright.
I know I can't prove anything new with this evidence.
Go ahead and save here really quick.
What is the medicine in the medicine bottle is not the medicine, but the potassium cyanide. It's, okay, so I think they already have a wrench in that theory, Stella, because they, like, the first thing Gumshoe did with that bottle was test what was inside of it, and what was inside of it is the medicine. So they verified that the bottle was Glenn's medicine by verifying that it was indeed ear medicine inside the bottle. So that it can't be that, unless maybe there's some sort of hidden chamber or something, I suppose. But I mean, unless there's some crazy way that still could be true, there's already been something that disproves that in the case. So I don't think that's what it is, but I mean, who knows? Who knows, man? There's been a few times where I thought, like, well, it's definitely not that then, and then it was. So I'm not going to discount it completely, but I think they've already gone against that theory. I'm really backed into a corner here, but maybe if he thinks he's got me beat, he'll let his guard down a bit.
Don't keep us waiting any longer, Mr. Wright. Present this final decisive piece of evidence to the court.
I mean, it's definitely this, though, right? I mean, this is the defense's final piece of evidence.
Isn't that the victim's...
Your Honor. Naturally, the court is already aware of the contents of this bottle. However, interesting new information has come to light. We have clearly identified some fingerprints on it. Fingerprints belonging to Mr. Tigre.
What? But, Mr. Wright, what conclusion are you hoping to draw from this new information?
Everyone in here knows what this bottle contains. Except one man. One person in this courtroom should be theoretically in the dark.
My prints are on that pansy-looking bottle? Is that what you saying? Well, what the hell is in it anyway?
A phony trial, a phony lawyer, and phony clues. Everything about this case has been phony. Seems like the perfect excuse for some phony evidence.
Oh no, come on. Come on. Don't do phony evidence, dude. That's not good. That seems like a really bad idea, Phoenix. Mr. Tigre, this is the decisive piece of evidence that will prove your guilt. Why? Because it contains Mr. Armstrong's oils, the victim's ear medicine, potassium cyanide. Oh, there you go, Stella. Our fake evidence is to convince Tigre that it's potassium cyanide. Huh? I think that still counts that your theory was sort of right, in a way. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, it's a lie, but we're gonna say it. So that's pretty cool. Nice call there, Stella. All right, let me go ahead and save it here just in case that is indeed wrong. Potassium cyanide. This bottle contains potassium cyanide.
Potassium cyanide?
I called it sort of. Yeah, sort of. The poison used to murder Mr. Ellie, Your Honor. The victim's killer used this very bottle. Now he's going to confess to make sure that I'm wrong, to let me know I'm wrong. Like, that's not how it happened. On this bottle, Mr. Tigre, we found your fingerprints. Well, how do you explain that?
You'd make a good clown, you know that?
What?
Yous ain't never gonna get this to stick. Yous just making me laugh now. You think a cheap bluff like that's gonna fool the tiger?
A bluff?
I can see straight through you, Phoenix, right? This ain't the bottle with the cyanide in it.
No, this is the bottle we found traces of the poison in.
Don't mess with the tiger, or you're gonna get ripped to shreds.
It's funny because he's like, he's saying that he knows potassium cyanide is not in there, but he shouldn't know it's in there, right? You're never wrong. Huh, that's interesting. Don't mess with the tiger or you're gonna get ripped to shreds. Okay, so this is kind of interesting.
The cyanide bottle was brown, and it was made of glass.
Because he knows what it looks like. He's incriminating himself, right?
That cheap piece of trash don't look nothing like it.
Just how would he know that it was brown and made of glass if he wasn't the killer? Because apparently if it was Maggie, Maggie had it hidden in her coat pocket. He shouldn't know. And if he wasn't impersonating Phoenix, he wouldn't know that either. So that I guess that kind of either proves that he impersonated Phoenix or that he was the killer, right? He just admitted his guilt. Exactly. You played yourself, fool. You played yourself.
Got him! At last!
That was a cool way of sort of like getting him to like admit it, though. That's pretty fun. I like that. That's how it led to, you know.
What? Why's everyone gone quiet? I said that bottle.
Is this the bottle you're referring to?
Yeah, that's it. That's the bottle the cyanide was in. Because you ain't gonna find my prints on that bottle. Don't let that cozy-looking suit fool you, people. The lawyer's just playing games. Tell him, Mr. Prosecutor. Tell that guy where to go.
You still haven't figured it out? Don't you realize what you just said?
What I said? What did I just say?
You were summoned to this court for the first time earlier today. If you really had nothing to do with the murder, you shouldn't have known all the little details. For instance, you shouldn't have known what kind of bottle the potassium cyanide was in.
But just now, you slipped up in front of every single person in this courtroom. You described the exact bottle used by the killer to hold the poison. You don't know who's you's messing with. I'm the Tiger. I control millions of dollars on the black market. You think I'm gonna let some jumped up suit get the better of me? Sure, the last piece of evidence was phony. But that's just what you deserve. The phony trial with a phony lawyer. It was all played out by you, the biggest phony of all.
Oh, look at that, dude. Look at those teeth, man. Nope, the lights went out? He went Super Saiyan on us, dude. Those are Phoenix's eyes. I can tell already. That scream, though, right? Hell yeah.
What's going on? It looks like a blackout.
And then you got Godot's fucking red visor. That's awesome, dude.
Well done, Turret. I saved my 17th cup of coffee just for you.
No, that's funny. That's why he had those eyes, because he had thrown the coffee cup.
Savor it. While you watch the police restrain your prey.
All right, Maggie, we got you. We got it.
Mr. Wright, you caught a tiger by his toe, but if this one hollers, he won't be let go.
But we have to make him pay $50 every day? Isn't that part of it as well? That's how it was when I was a kid.
Now then, how are things going with Mr. Tigre, Mr. Godot? He is being arrested on suspicion of the murder of Glenn Ellie, Your Honor. Fortunately for us, we managed to rectify a very grave error. Miss Bird was found guilty in the absence of a genuine defense attorney.
Yes, she was.
And in the absence of a genuine evidence. But the Tiger made one mistake. Indeed. He very nearly got away with everything if it wasn't for that one slip of tongue. Furio Tigre is a truly frightening criminal. Ha! The truly frightening one is that defense attorney over there.
Godot.
Well, I am now in a position to deliver my verdict. This court finds the defendant Maggie Bird.
Oh, that's not my cheer lasted the exact same amount of time that the games thing lasted. That's so funny. The screen broke the building electricity off. Yeah, right, exactly. That's so funny. It's like a major blackout, and then Godot throws his fucking coffee in the darkness.
That is all. This court is adjourned.
January 8th, 4:10 p.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby, number 1.
Mr. Wright, I'm at a loss for words. Thank you, sir. Congratulations, Maggie. I was so mad when Mr. Wright landed me in all that trouble a month ago. But now I feel like I can forgive him.
Hey, that wasn't me, Maggie. That was the tiger.
Look, Nick, in the doorway.
Detective Gumshoe.
No, guess I'll be heading off then. Be seeing ya.
Well, wait.
Detective Gumshoe.
Oh yeah, congratulations, Maggie.
Thanks.
I knew you were innocent all along.
Why didn't you say that in your testimony then?
Huh? No, well, I was... Well, guess I'll be heading off then. See you around.
Wait up, detective. He just ran off.
Maggie, why are you being so hard on him? He busted his butt for you. It's thanks to him that we got the medication bottle. That wasn't even any use. But it's only because Mr. Wright used it so cleverly. Detective Gumshoe was just running around in circles.
Poor guy.
Looks like she still isn't ready to forgive him. Can you put in a good word for him, Nick?
Oh, let me save here. I think I know how to do this. I think I know what this is leading up to, but I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, Maya's right. I should help Gumshoe out. It's clear he needs it.
Maggie. You know, Detective Gumshoe's been really worried about you through all of this.
I wanted to believe that, sir. But on that first day of the trial, he practically gave the judge a free pass to lock me up.
He didn't have any choice, Maggie. He's a detective. He has to report the facts.
He doubted me. That's why. He thought I might have done it.
I've got to prove to her that Gumshoe really cares about her. I know. I'll give her a little present to celebrate her freedom.
And the present should be the Gumshoe's lunchbox? I feel like that should be it, right? Because that kind of shows that Gumshoe cared about her because he made that for her. There can't be anything else. That has to be it. I mean, it's like the only thing that we've not used, even. You know what I mean? And let's try it. Here you are. A present to celebrate your freedom.
That's...
A present from Detective Gumshoe, made with a ton of love.
He said you lost your weight, and he was worried about you. Detective Gumshoe. I actually really like weenies, you know.
Is that Maya's stomach?
Did you guys hear that? I'm pretty hungry myself, you know.
Or maybe that was Maggie's stomach then. Yeah, the trial dragged on a bit today, didn't it?
Is it okay if I eat this now?
Of course it is. Oh, nice. She's like crying while she's eating it too. I love how Maya's just like excited for her, like,
Yeah, girl, eat those weenies. So, how is it, Maggie? It's really good.
oh, how nice. But you know what the worst part of this entire case is? That we didn't get to see fucking Pearly. The false allegations surrounding Maggie have all been cleared up. And who knows? Maybe a whole new chapter of her life is about to start. Episode 3, Recipe for a Turnabout, the end. There we go. I was really hoping we'd get a little bit more with, like, Godot's history and stuff, but I guess it's probably going to be in this one. Oh, look who it is, guys! Look how handsome he looks right there, too. Oh, ooh, woo. Edgeworth. Damn, looking fucking handsome. He looks different, doesn't he? Is that maybe not Edgeworth and it's actually, like, somebody else somehow? That'd be crazy. You know, it'd be extra crazy if it's fucking Edgeworth is accused again of being the murderer. That'll be crazy. Yeah, Noah, he knows what I'm talking about. Ooh, woo, Mr. Edgy Boy. There you go, style. Edgy Boy. Miles Edgeworth is always a handsome devil. Hell yeah, he is. He's got that confidence to boot. And he's actually a pretty good guy. Which is pretty nice. Alright, it might automatically start the next episode here. Hope it doesn't. Okay, we're going to save first. Cool. But after I go through the save, it'll start the next one. So I'm not going to go through... I'm not going to hit back yet, because it'll just start the next episode. And we're going to save that for next week. So there we go. What time is it? Oh, we're ending, you know, at the earlier part of my ending time. I usually try to end between 9 and 9:30 my time, and it's 9:04 here. I just lost whatever I had in my hand there. There we go. But yeah, that's the stream for the night, guys. So that was fun. It's pretty cool. I like the way that worked out. I really like how we ended up getting nailing Tigray in the end. That was pretty cool. Let's jump on over to the ending screen. All right, so yeah, thanks everybody for hanging out with me tonight. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I know I did, and we'll be starting, I believe, the final case for the trilogy but also trials and tribulations, obviously. Let's see. I'm going to make sure that I'm honest when I say that real quick. Oh, no, we have 2 more. My bad. Never mind. We have a very short one, and then we have a really long one. Okay, so we still have 1 short one that we'll be doing next week. I don't know if... I guess it might take up all of next week, because it looks like it's in 2 parts. Just 2 trial parts. And then the next one has how many parts? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 parts. Oh my gosh. That'll be crazy. Thank you for a dream. You're very welcome, Stella. All right, cool. So we're going to start on Turnabout Beginnings next week, and then we'll have Bridge to the Turnabout, which is interesting because I thought there was a bridge icon in the one we just saw in the intro thing. So that's interesting that the bridge isn't going to come up till later. Oh, wow. I'm spoiling a little bit for myself, guys, but I'm not going to do it to you. Don't worry about that. An excellent end to a phony trial. Absolutely, dude. Started out phony, and then it got real quick. You know what I mean? All right. Anyway, so for the rest of the schedule, this week, we only have Friday left. So tomorrow, we will be playing some Cyberpunk 2077. So definitely come out and hang out for that, guys. It'll be a late stream. I usually play my Friday games until like midnight my time, so those are like 6 to 7 hour streams. So if you guys got nothing else to do on a Friday night, come hang out with me. We'll be playing some Cyberpunk. We're gonna be doing a lot of like racing and boxing and stuff like that, because we're gonna be finishing up all the side quests so that we can go ahead and get to the end of the game. And then I gotta pick what game we're gonna play next. But I got a couple ideas, and I think I'm narrowing myself down on them, so I think we'll know what we're playing next. But I'll let you guys know once I have my final verdict, and once we get closer to that time, because we still got a few weeks. But yeah, so all we got is Cyberpunk, and then we'll be back around on Monday for some more Kenna Bridge of Spirits. So I'm excited for that as well. Kenna's been a very fun game, very challenging. But yeah, and Estelle just added a stellism of a tream equals stream. Sounds good. I like it. Let's see. So other things I got to tell you guys about. We do have some exciting news when it comes to merch. Well, here, first of all, let me just show you guys. We got this quiz night coming up. That's the day after tomorrow, guys. So if you guys want to participate in that, you got to be in the Discord. So if you guys aren't in the Discord yet, or if you're still in the DD Discord, you need to move to the new one. We have a new Discord because the DD Discord is defunct now. I haven't deleted it yet, and I may not, but it's not where we hang out anymore. We hang out over in the Strange Planet Discord. So if you click on that Discord, then here, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and do a quick rundown of how it works really quick. Let me jump back over here. So when you first join the Discord, this is what you should be presented with. You'll get the Join a Server section here, and then you can see at the bottom we have all of our different icons here. We got Noah, me, Aaron, Papa, and Dan, and then we have our Strange Planet one here. So how this works is you can see right here, it shows you whose Discords you're subscribing to when you click them. So really, first and foremost, I want to say, please read through this. This is important. It tells you how our server works, because it's not just like a regular Discord server that you might be familiar with. We're trying to make it a community server. So for instance, if you want to see my section, which is this section right here, you'll just need to click on my logo, and then you'll just see this section, and I believe you'll see the community section as well, and that's all you'll see. If you click on Noah's, you'll see Noah's, Dan's, you'll see Dan, Papa's, you'll see Papa's, Aaron's, you'll see Aaron's, yada yada. And then it comes down to this one right here. The Strange Planet icon is for the people who want to be a part of Community Night. So if you want to see the Community Night section and you want to see the events when they happen, then you're going to want to click on this guy right here, because that will give you the Community Nights role. So that's how our server works, guys. And like I said, if you're still in the Domm Dynamite server, here's the Domm Dynamite server. This one, we no longer use this one. We're trying to consolidate all of ourselves into the Strange Planet one. So please come join the Strange Planet server. It's a great time over here. Yeah, definitely check out the community channel tabs here. We have a lot of good stuff for sharing things. You know, if you have any clips, please share them in the clips and highlights. Like we got Medi Ion's clip right here. I'm definitely going to be checking that after the stream. I want to see what his reaction was. And, you know, we got polls. We got some random fun polls. If you guys want to participate in them, please do. You know, you can post about games over here. All that stuff, you know. You got Take My Money if you got cool products you want to show off. You got food if you got, you know, a delicious meal you want to show off. All that stuff, okay? So come on. Come over and hang out, you know? It's a great time. You know, while we're here, let's talk about the merch. I do have an image of the merch. If you go here, I did post this today. So yeah, we got some new merch in. I've got it to where well, my hats are already showing up, but also the Strange Planet hats have also showed up. So definitely check those out. But what I just added today though is the beanie. I'm gonna be picking one of these up pretty quick because it looks like it's pretty damn cool. So that'll be awesome. If you guys want to pick up a beanie, I'm getting the snapback thumbnail fixed because there was some sort of error with it. So I've sent them an email and they're looking into it. They've already gotten back to me, so that they're going to get someone's eyes on that to fix that. So the snapback image will appear soon. But other than that, we do still have the, you can see the dad cap and the trucker hat, what they look like and everything. So there you go. If you guys want them, check out the merch. You can get the link here in Discord. I have all my socials and everything. All right. Oh, not there. Here. So if you guys ever need to see any of my socials, right there. But, you know, let's check out the Strange Planet hat real quick. I did post a picture of that. There we go. That's what the snapback looks like, by the way. It's got that flat brim on there, or whatever you call it. And there's the Strange Planet logo on the hat. It looks pretty nice. I think you guys will like it. I've already ordered one, so I got a trucker hat version coming in. Here, let me zoom in on it for you. There you go. Get a little bit better of a idea of what that looks like. So the only part that's embroidered is the red circle and the white teeth, and the black is just the black from the hat. So it turns out pretty good. I think it looks really nice. But yeah, if you guys want to wait until I get mine, I can show you the quality of it. That's totally fine with me. I totally get it. But yeah, and I've done my best to make sure everything is pretty much as affordable as it can be. We don't make a whole lot of profit off of those things, but it's not about the profit. It's about giving you guys cool stuff to wear and just, you know, being appreciative of you guys for wearing it. So that's what that's all about. So anyway, sorry about that extended merch plug. I just want to show you guys what was new. You can also see I've got the hats reflected in the images now. So there you go. Anyways, that's all I got for plugs, but let's raid somebody, shall we? What do you guys say? You guys want to raid? I want to raid. Let's see, who do we got on? Just raid into a friend tonight. Alright, loading up. I think Papa's on tonight, right? Yeah, it's Thursday. I mean, that's the obvious choice, am I right? Oh yeah, there he is. There he is. Oh, and look who's playing the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. So that's where he went. Okay. Mediion is online. He's playing the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. If you guys want to go check him out, there he is. Yeah, let's go ahead and jump in there with Papa. He's playing some Metal Gear Solid 3 again tonight. So there we go. Let's continue on that epic adventure with him. And I'm excited to start on those other Phoenix Wright games as well. Or Ace Attorney, I should say. All right, let's get this raid started. I tried my Domm shirt again today. My guns don't fit. Oh, your arms don't fit through it? You got two big guns, huh? I'm sorry to hear that, still. That sucks that didn't work out for you. Just have to order a bigger size, I guess, once you order your next one, I guess. I'm sorry. I wish I could reimburse you, too, since it wasn't all that great. Do they do returns on Teespring? Actually, I don't know. Maybe you could have done that? I don't know. Maybe I was supposed to check on that and I forgot. I apologize if that's the fact. All right, let's see. Papa, Wolf. All right, starting that raid, guys. I got the raid message out there if you guys want to copy it. And I appreciate you guys for jumping in on that raid. All right, I've copied my raid message. I think I'm already loaded on my own stream so I can be in that raid. Yep, we're good. All right, guys. So once again, thanks for hanging out with me tonight. Had a great time with some Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. But you guys, until I see you guys next time, stay happy, stay healthy. I love you all, and we'll see you tomorrow for some Cyberpunk 2077. But you guys have a good night. Have fun hanging out with Papa. And let's go get into some Metal Gear Solid fun. Let's see. It's the cut, not the size. I'm usually muscular, lol, for a woman. Unusually muscular. I see what you mean. Right on. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying, though. Like, whether or not it's the cut or not, like, if you got a bigger size, they should still be bigger. You know what I mean? So getting a bigger size would still help, you know? Because the cut is always going to be bigger regardless, you know what I mean? I mean, just being a guy who doesn't fit in a lot of, like, normal clothes, that's usually how I have to do it. Like, just to make sure one part of my body fits. Like the biggest part needs to be kind of what I measure myself off of, you know. So you got some big guns, you're just gonna have to measure off them guns, girl. You know what I mean? All right, guys, let's go head over to Papa's. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Later, have a good night. Thanks for hanging out. Bye-bye.